Ah, Rosato's there. Nice. Okay.
Booting up the stream as well. Okay, I'm turning off the Davox stream now. For now.
I hope Rayla has a stream. Didn't see him join anything. I'll have a look.
He should. Maybe.
Hopefully.
I'm guessing.
I don't see anything on his stream. But that's fine, I guess.
Maybe he's not available right now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Ready to go.
The semifinals of the beginner tourney.
Hell yes. We've made it.
And we feel it to no obstacles.
Almost none. We have one replacement. Crumbomb couldn't play. Had something come up, so we have Castorex as a replacement from the pot that Crumbomb was in, and he's the third placed player from that pot. Yeah, I think we are spectating the second winner group. So the second winners from round 1 are in this group. We have Castorex on Harkonnen. He's the third placed winner from the round 1 group. We have Rosato on Carino, we have Remas on Vernius, and we have Anvar on the ECAPs.
That we do. All of these players have proved themselves in the previous round to be some of the best up-and-coming players of the community.
For sure. I'm excited.
We'll see how they fare against each other. Yes, I'm excited as well, especially because I actually faced against Anva yesterday in a quite competitive lobby. It was me, Anton, Anva, and I think it was Horsra on the tradies. And Anva got quite unlucky. Not even unlucky. He misplayed a bit and he let me base drop him, which led to some complications in the game. And he actually held his own really well. So I'm excited to see what he learned from that game.
Hopefully no base drop on him this time.
Hopefully.
I think...
Look into the counselors.
Yeah, I think it's very standard choices here. ECAS is probably the most interesting, with going with Sanya and Mesa instead of the most powerful choice, I would say, Ibo Whip.
Yep. Maybe he's opting into a garbage truck.
It's very strong, I would say. I tried it myself, and it has some benefits. Basically, these councils allow you to build masterpieces cheaper. Sanya, of course, giving you also 15% Solari production per sanctuary on the map. and Mesa allows you to abandon a village, which refunds 100% of the authority, and masterpieces also build 100% faster.
So
very interesting to
for
see.
those who don't know what the garbage truck strategy is, basically ECAS has this unique building called a masterpiece, and what these do is basically they apply the color of the building to the quirks twice. So for example, here we have this spice village with the quirk plunderers. And so what it does is that you get free solar production per military building in this village. If ECAS places a red masterpiece building here, it will apply the red military building effect twice. So is it twice extra or just twice, Minx? Do you remember?
It is twice. So for
So
one
it applies it
for one
to
red
more,
masterpiece, it would be 6 Solari you get.
Oh, okay, so twice. So it grants them 6 Solari instead of 3.
Yeah.
And that building does nothing else. That's literally all it does. And so what ECAS can do is basically go around the map, capture a village, build it up with masterpieces, leave it there, and go on to the next and drop the region. And the masterpieces are the only buildings that stay there in the village even if it was dropped, and don't lose HP. So whoever captures the village next will just have a village full of masterpieces that they can do anything with.
Yeah, because if you destroy the masterpiece, you lose lands red and I think authority, is it?
Yes, 10 lands red and 10 authority for every masterpiece you destroy, by whatever means.
Yeah.
So there is no way around it. If you capture the village, you don't even have to capture. If you destroy a masterpiece, you just lose. Lose and there is nothing gained.
There's
basically.
a very nice strategy if like Carino or another faction wants to siege you with the siege drones and want to destroy the turrets. The siege drones have an AoE damage, so if you build the turrets and the masterpieces next to each other, Carino will essentially destroy both the turret and the masterpiece and lose authority and lands red standing.
Yes, and also I think masterpieces have lower HP than most buildings, right?
Yeah.
So they are easy to destroy as well.
Yeah, it's very fun to do. It's very annoying.
Yes, and you can just, Corino also has the operation called Orbital Strike, which I believe has flat damage, so it will just destroy every masterpiece in the region if dropped there.
Yeah, very fun mechanics with that. I think we look at the research of the factions here, what they are starting with. Harkonnen doing, I think, a very standard opening, going for Instill Fear first. You always want to do that, giving you your -% authority for pillaged villages. Lay of the Land, always strong, giving you the little bit extra knowledge. Also research agreements, which we see they're sending out already. And what they want to do afterwards is probably go for Arrakis badges here.
I would prioritize getting Arrakis butchers much earlier, before work ethics and intelligence network, because if you go for Instill Fear, you will, right after you get it, you will go on a pillage route, and you want to get as much manpower while doing that as possible.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And also that plus 10 water helps.
Arrakis Butcher gains 5 manpower upon killing militia or rebels.
You also deal more damage against militia.
Yeah, so it's much more easier to pillage. The first land threat. Carino is letting one resolution not be affected by Imperium's edict, so House Vernius will get that. And very important, Carino Imperial edicts the private mandate, because Harkonnen wants that. Harkonnen would very much like that. They still get it, which is not good for the lobby. I think the other players would would have been wise to deny this.
Yeah.
It's very powerful for Harkonnen.
Yeah, because looking at the spawn Harkonnen has, they can easily pillage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Yeah.
12, 13 villages without getting contested or finding another faction's army. Harkonnen can actually look for a Chom victory here with the spawn they got.
They have
because-
Ram's Nest in the corner.
Yes, and also 2 spice regions.
One with
Which are-
versatile.
Oh,
Very nice.
that makes it so much better.
Yeah, this might be
And two of
a
these spice
Chom
villages, it
opportunity
is-
here.
Quite defendable, I would say.
Yeah, we will see how they will manage that. Hopefully, I mean, Chom is always interesting. Not a lot of people will try a Chom victory. Carino is doing they get everything, a bit of everything. I think as Carino you wanna definitely prioritize the 3 green tags you have: Imperial Researchers, Imperial Administration, and the Consolidation. They give you very
Yep, I
strong
agree.
bonuses.
Imperial Researchers is not that important out of these 3. The best part of Imperial Researchers is the research agreement, but getting Imperial Administration and the administrative consolidation is crucial for the early game.
Yeah.
One of them because of the village quirks and the investment office, which is basically Corino's economy in the early game. And getting the monument up as early as possible is like one of the most important things for Corino. Because in the late game, you can actually lose like 500 to 600 hedge, up to 1,000 hedge, if you don't build the monument early enough. I actually lost the game because of that, because I delayed my monument too much.
They're going heavily into the yellow tech here. Maybe, I think we saw Rossetto play Carino and go heavily for the Chom. I think they tried that in their round 1 match, so maybe retrying that strategy.
Maybe. That is entirely possible. I still don't think getting crew training program before Imperial Administration is the way to go.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most strongest things you can get, like the doubling of the village quirks around the Imperial Basin and stuff.
Yep. Earliest tech, what do you think?
Oh, very nice. They have gone to holistic thinking, like technology exchange, theoretical computing, then holistic thinking, and already lay of the land, water batteries, and now researching entropic engineering. So very nice, very standard tech path, I would say. You definitely want holistic thinking pretty early, because you can buy your tech analytical machines, as you can see here. And what you then do is place an analytic machine in every information slot. Like one here, one on Arrakis, one in Space Gate, one on Landsred, and each will give you +1 knowledge. So this is just like a tiny extra boost to your knowledge in the early game, just from this technology.
Alright. Looking at ECAS's research, I don't know if I like this that well or that much.
I mean, they have Lay of the
They
Land,
opted
already native artist and artistic aspirations. I think native artist and artistic aspirations you want for like mass building your masterpieces. And now going for outpost logistics, I think they're doing the strategy here.
The strategy.
Placing masterpieces
I don't know.
everywhere.
Maybe, but you need martial perfectionism before everything else, because you want to have a perfected army before you actually go out into the wild and capture villages.
So you do that very early?
Yes, I do that very early, because I want to get perfected units up ASAP.
I see. Yeah.
Because right now these 4 musketeers and 2 squires are not perfected, which I think is a disadvantage in the early game. And there's 2 more squires that came out that are not perfected.
Our lives are yours.
But looking at the lobby, nobody else really invested that much into their military, except for Hark, so maybe they will go unpunished if they start laying the trash around Arrakis.
What trash? It is art.
I'm sorry. It is art for you, maybe, if you are Ikaz, but
Oh.
it's just in the way for me.
If we look at the special regions around the map, I think Vernius has no special region in their bag. There's no White Rift. They have the Desolation in their bag, which is very unfortunate for them. They definitely want to capture Polar Sink and Imperial Basin in the middle.
Yeah, and there's actually a bunker opportunity with these 2 villages.
Oh, yeah.
The Spicefield and Polarsink.
That would be nice for them.
Yeah. Apart from that, yeah,
And they
get
have
a
the
pretty unlucky
opportunity.
spawn.
Water subsidies is in the lands, right?
Well,
Water subsidies, of course, will allow you to annex the Polar Sink without any authority cost, which is very powerful. If this passes and you have an Atreides in the lobby, they most definitely will try to peacefully annex the Polar Sink.
luckily for us, this is not the case in this lobby.
Wow,
So
and House
Vernius has a bit
Vernius
of
will
time.
get infrastructure control, which is one of the most powerful resolutions Vernius can get if they have Bolek as their counselor, because what it allows them now is to mass build their main base, because they have the reduced cost, so it will really benefit them.
Do they have the resources though? That is the question.
We can have a look. They definitely...
They seem to have one
Yeah.
more for one more building. Maybe they can build 3 during this resolution.
Yeah,
4
most definitely.
even.
I think 3 is realistic here.
Okay. Let's take a quick look at the Corino quirks, which
Quirk
we
game.
kind of postponed.
Ooh,
gotta
they're
quirk it.
strong. Splintered Rock, that spice field. This will
Oh,
give
yeah.
you a lot of intel.
Yeah, this is definitely the village where you want to put a harvest, refinery, and 5 blue buildings.
Yeah.
Preferably the 2 investment offices. Yeah. 2 investment offices, 2 research hubs, and 1 more blue building. Maybe the Spacing Guild not the Spacing Guild branch, like the building that lets you trade parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the final building. Also, that Pleskrit region is really nice as well. Versatile with local sourcing.
That's definitely nice for them. They will have a lot of cross trade.
Yep. And also, it's 5 winds, so they can also put their water production into this village and maybe put a manpower producing building and an investment office in here to activate the versatile and
Ooh.
the local sourcing.
ECAS already grabbing the Polar Sink. Now, will we see masterpieces built here? Water
Not
extractor.
yet. I think they want to keep that.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, it has data brokers, which is nice to have if you are ECAS. It's just another source of solar reproduction for them if they can build it up with blue masterpieces.
Yeah, for sure.
And they do have the Museum of Unbound Arts, so they can start building it up with masterpieces.
Yeah. Of course, every masterpiece with the museum will give you also +5 max authority, influence, or manpower. So, unlike other factions who have like a cap limit on their authority, like 500, ECAS can go up to 600 authority in their bank. Now they don't have a sanctuary yet. But they definitely have a chance to get one or some of them. Now Harkonnen already grabbing the worm's nest. Let's look at the Chome market. Harkonnen buying a bit from their pillage. You always want to do that. Like you see them with like this big blob go around Arrakis and pillage every village there is. Even going as far as here and here. And in the early game you can definitely do that.
And they are floating 11k Solari, which is a lot. Like a really
Wow.
really.
They did not spend
They
that.
can just.
Now they're buying.
I don't know
that.
why.
Now
Maybe they are
they're
trying
buying
to
more,
build
yeah.
up their main base, and
Yeah,
they just
here
got
they
this.
go, 8%.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to see. That's easily 15% or even more.
Meanwhile, ECAS is in the red. They are struggling on the financial side here. They definitely need more Solari production.
They can choose Vernius for the yellow tech.
Yeah.
But also you don't want to give Vernius too much lands red. Otherwise they can get out of control. So maybe that's why they don't want to do it.
Maybe. Now Vernier is building three another main base buildings with this resolution. So very strong for them. Maybe
You'd
even
love
getting
to
more
see.
buildings off of it.
They will have the resources for at least one more.
Now 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. They have a pretty good set on their spice fields here. They have 2 very safe ones up in the north, 1 in the middle, and 1 to the east. So their economy will be very fine, I think. Which is very good for the lobby, because you always want to contest Harkonnen on the Chome.
We will see whether that worm nest being permanently oppressed can actually outproduce Vernius's 4 spice fields.
Yeah, and Carino also going heavily economy. We will see how
Grabbing a
that
well
will
of
play
riches
out.
as well.
Carino having like 2 very safe special regions is definitely nice for them. We will see whether they will base drop here. They could secure Sandfall with a base drop. That would be possible.
I feel like who pillaged that village? Let me see. It was probably Hark. I feel like that spice field drop would be amazing for Corino.
In the middle,
No, next to Sandfall.
next to Sandfall. Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't drop on the minerals region. I would drop on the spice field region because it's in the back end, defended by 2 villages from the front.
Yeah, if you drop on the mineral region, maybe Harkonnen has a chance to kill that base.
Oh, easily. It's very vulnerable. I don't think there's. I mean, from here, like on the edge of Sandfall, maybe the turrets can shoot in just barely. But if they approach it more from the right side, then it's just a base alone. So it would be very vulnerable if they decided to drop there. looking at the lands read, nothing important, nothing passed except foreign recruitment, which, I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, will be
But
nice for
unless we
few
see some
factions.
fights happening, it has no impact at all.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe putting the militia
Very
up in every
peaceful
village.
for now. Now Vernius is maybe considering grabbing a region in the middle.
Icaz did not build up Podorsing, so if they started capping that now, they would suffer the least. They decided not to. Did they strike a truce? Yes, they did. And the research agreement as well. Back orders coming along nicely. Harkonnen deciding to grab Adrenaline Addiction.
And now going into the yellow tag for Chome integration, and then straight to Savage Cleansing and Symbols of Authority.
They are trying to hedge, which I don't know if that's a call. If that's the call.
I
They
mean,
have two specials.
you might
if
as
Corridor
well,
decides to
you
drop
might as
on
well
that
try
spice
to
trade.
hedge early with Harkonnen until Vernius obfuscate your crafts.
Don't get me wrong, yeah. Yeah, probably. But, ooh. So Harkonnen is at 20%.
This is dangerous. If I were in this lobby, I would call this out.
It probably did get called out. I feel like that's why Vernius and Icaz decided
Yeah.
to get the truce up and get their economy up and running.
Do they have research economy agreements? Not yet, no. If
Nobody does.
you'd see Harkonnen or smugglers at 20%, 22% this early, you definitely wanna rally the lobby against them.
Yep.
Just like type in the chat, hey, 20%, this is dangerous.
Also, yeah. Also, I don't see any ornithopters on the harvesters for Harkonnen.
That's true, yeah.
They are all on greed mode, but they don't have any ornithopters on them, which is actually making them lose production, because with the ornithopter, if you put an ornithopter on a harvester to scan the surrounding area, they will see the worm earlier, which activates the greed mode's double spice gathering rate earlier and just give you more spice in the long run. This way, the harvester can be eaten without ever seeing the worm. Just instantly getting eaten. And you lose out on that juicy double production, which Harkonnen does want. And he's capping his 4th spice region up in the north, basically denying the
Wow,
base drop.
that is bold. That's a bold annex there.
Yeah, I think so as well. But if you look at Corino's deck tree, it's not gonna be punished.
Yeah, Carino
not
is
in the
going
near
heavily
future.
for economy here. We saw last game. They're doing it now too. They will build their propaganda office in the spice fields they have. This will cost you -1 authority, but will give you plus 20% resource production. So it's a trade-off. Most of the players will build the propaganda offices later in the game to boost their hedge production. But of course, it's very viable to say, okay, I will trade my authority against more Solari in the early game.
Yes, but I feel like this is too much. He's building 3.
Yeah, that's
Because he has
minus
one in the Well of
3
Riches.
authority, so they will produce +3. That's very, very slow. So they will
Not even
have a
+3, +2.
+2.
They produce +2. That's not enough.
That's not
You need
enough,
more than
that's
that.
true. This will slow down their expansion a lot. If you do that, you definitely want to grab outpost logistics earlier, I think. If you go that route, that strategy. because it allows you to put one more agent on Arrakis, giving you a bit more authority to work with.
Yep. I understand the lobby's concern that Harkonnen is already at 21%. That is a completely understandable concern for all of them, but I feel like this is an overreaction. Having one propaganda office up or two,
Yeah.
two is a bit much. One
I
is
think-
more than enough.
I think it's definitely their strategy that they lean into to do that.
Yes, but I feel like they will lose more. They are losing tempo right now because
Yeah, that is
Corino
true.
could grab Observatory Mountain. Nobody will ever contest that, and they can start actually building towards maybe a Gov Wincon in this lobby. Looking at the votes, they need to catch up on that as well. Get a triple blue up, build up their Observatory Mountain, get their influence production up, grab some charters, get the money from that, and that's how you contest Chom. Getting propaganda offices here is that's not the call, in my opinion.
You just don't see it. You don't see the Chom angle. The
I
Carino
actually
Chom
don't
angle.
see it. Yes, I don't see it. That is true. Controlled markets comes up.
Yeah,
That should stop Harkonnen from
definitely
choming
want to
for a
put
while.
that on Hark. And they're talking about it, I think. Ekas and Vernius.
Yep, I think so as well.
You definitely
now-
want to talk to Carino too, because Carino can decide if they edict that or if they don't.
They got time because it's Slowlands, right? So it did not get edicted.
Very nice. The right play.
Later
for Carino.
investigations did, which is interesting.
Maybe
I don't
they,
see why.
Maybe they want to put both of it on Harkonnen.
No, it's got on ECAS. And Vernius decided that ECAS will not get the red tag for in these upcoming 20 days, which is interesting. Harkonnen did get controlled markets, it was expected.
Very nice. And we see a standoff between Ekas and Harkonnen over the space wreck. Who is pillaging? Or capping?
ECAS is
Now
capping
they
and
will
here
attack here.
comes...
I
Was
don't
this-
think Ekas can fight this Carino army.
was a bit
Harkonnen
grey
army.
as well.
Maybe? The champion was focused down here.
They can definitely win that fight because even though Harkonnen has the tech to get... No, and they still don't win. Wow. Because even though Harkonnen had the tech to get their second gear up, they did not. They are actually fighting as if they had only one gear, and the executioners actually have none, which is a
and
major
Ekas-
disadvantage, and
Ekas
they
has the
still
gear
won.
out.
Because gear-wise, ECAS actually had an advantage.
Now
But I'm
Harkonnen
guessing
can
the
try
operations were
to
enough.
pillage those Ekas villages, which will give them a lot of money. And
think
Vernius
they will.
is taking this chance to grab two specials that might have belonged to Ekas here.
Look at this Boyd army.
It's a big blob.
Waiting for orders.
This is menacing until the orbital strike comes up.
That is true, sadly.
Are they waiting for a 40? Yes, they are. They can also just grab this POI in the deep desert to start capping it immediately. They have more than enough blast crate for that.
Now Ekas will get aggressed on from both sides. They will not have a nice time here. Harkonnen even capping the space wreck cruiser. So Ekas will have a hard time between those two. And they have one sanctuary here in the back, which is very nice. They definitely want the village Kargar. I think they wanted to turn that into a sanctuary.
Listening.
I think so as well.
But now they will have to delay those
Your
plans.
orders, fair lady.
Sanctuary-wise, Ika's got a pretty rough spawn.
That is true.
And I don't see many sanctuaries happening here. This Suboid army just arrives, flying in.
Now, Vernius would like those two villages here. It would be a pretty dusty bunker for them. Having both Newell nodes next to each other and two missile turrets. That would be very nice. I like the macro decisions from Remas here. I've had one game coaching him, and we talked about those decisions, like what do you want to grab, where's your objective, which specials are you eyeing, where do you wanna go. So I like those decisions here.
Is there someone to eliminate?
I like these as well. It's... Even though he got a rough spawn, considering that he has basically no specials, he managed to grab 2 and maybe bunker up one more. Not one more, but one of them.
Yeah. Sadly,
Your coaching has paid
those
off.
white regions in the north is not a white rift. If that were
Yeah,
the
this
case,
is-
Vernius would have a much better chance.
I feel like the map gen just decided halfway through that this will not be a white rift, but instead just a spice field and something else.
Very sad.
Quite
But
unlucky.
what they do have is a lot of energy sources lying around. 1, 2, 3, 4 regions with energy sources. That's very
And
nice.
they're building a nuke.
in you.
They're building a nuclear silo
Already?
already. 1-4, yes.
Hell yes.
I don't know what's the plan, but
Nuke
I
Harkonnen.
like this. Maybe. Let's look at the Chom market. Is it needed? I wouldn't say it is. Harkonnen is deep in the negative. Because he still has no ornithopters on the harvesters and no crews. No, there is 0 crew
Yeah.
in any of them.
So what Harkonnen
So-
is doing here is purely relying on their pillaging to keep them afloat and buying more chom,
That's basically it.
which is
They have
hard
the
to
red
do.
tag, they
I
have
would
the
say
yellow tag.
it's harder to play, but we see them managing it very nicely, having like 2 army groups running around pillaging on either side of the map. And that's very nice play.
It's well played, but it's basically just staying alive. This is not playing to win, this is staying alive. If they are crewing up their harvesters. They got 2 max crew harvesters, one on the worm nest, nicely done, and one still waiting for one more member to join the harvester crew. Now we just need some ornithopters, and here comes one. He realized the mistake and he's now correcting it. Maybe we will see some Chomkonnen this game finally.
That would be nice.
He has 3 harvesters with 3 ornithopters right now.
Now, who will
He
win
still
the
needs
chom
one more.
game? Harkonnen with pillaging and spice, or the propaganda office Carino in the corner?
If I would bet with money, it would be on Harkonnen. Oh, wait, never mind. Maybe not, because he's below 200 standing because he had to
Oh, that is true.
betray Ikaz.
He betrayed. Interesting. So
That is unlucky.
now the lobby would want Harkonnen to be below 200 still. So the Imperial Audit, I would coordinate a vote here.
I mean, it's for single faction. It's for elected faction only. And Harkonnen currently has no votes, so they already skipped
They
the
won't
voting
get that.
phase. They will definitely not get that unless
Now,
the minor houses decide
you want to
otherwise.
vote the 100% military unit Solari upkeep on Harkonnen. Very
Oh,
nice.
no.
The lobby did well here. Very nice from the lobby and the other players. Now Harkonnen's still
Casterex.
below 200, which means -2 influence production. They're currently -1 influence. And the most important thing here, plus 100% Chome share buying price. So they won't buying Chome shares anytime.
Oh man.
And on top of that, the plus 100% military unit upkeep. Very nicely played by the lobby.
Casterex is not having fun right now. He's gonna lose a Pleskrit region in the back from some raiders.
Oh. Yeah, he won't be in time for that. I don't know
No.
if he sees that. I don't think so.
I mean,
Because
I don't know if losing that is that big of a deal. He loses the
Yeah.
water. I think that's the worst part of it. But
Yeah, his
apart from that,
attention
it's not-
attention is in the middle.
yeah.
Will he take that spice field? That's very
Oh,
bold.
he is.
That's very
That
bold.
is very bold. Yes.
Wow.
That's basically putting a target on your back and saying, "Kick me in the ass." This is. I wouldn't do this.
I would pillage that. Now ECAS
Oh,
isn't
man.
that strong right now, so it's relying on Carino and Vernius to react to that. And I think they will. We see the subway blob coming around.
Oh,
yeah, you don't want to
Harkonnen.
give that to Harkonnen. Decap.
Deciding to liberate.
Wow.
I don't know. I would rather pillage it and leave it on ECAS than liberate it and maybe give it to Vernius or Corino.
For sure, yeah.
I don't think Harkonnen has any business in the middle right now, considering the spawn and the distance between him and the Polar Sink village. Yeah,
Ah,
there he
yeah,
goes.
that's-
He's gonna pillage it. Yep. There was some there was some discussion in the chat between the players. Probably getting to an agreement that he will not decap that, but the ECAS leaves him alone, or something like that. Or maybe he realized that Vernius is actually the bigger threat right now, considering the hedge game.
That is true. Vernier is already very nicely researching almost everything. They are lacking a bit of the blue tech, but they're queuing it up. Now, this is allowed by their main base setup. Because if you do like the rainbow stripe here, you will see you get the research bonuses for all the techs. That's 3 times 15%. That you will faster research your developments. So they're just speeding through all those. 8 days remaining, 6 days for that, 8 days for physical wiring. It's very strong.
It is, yes. And also, Harkonnen just deciding that, yep, I think the end of month 4 is the time for me to start hedging. I don't care about Chum. I will start hedging right now. Which is an interesting choice. Are the others? Yes. Both ECAS and Vernius have their passive up, so it is the good call that he starts his own as well.
Yeah. Now, he only gets symbol of authorities off of Vernius. So if Vernius decides to take that away, their passive is disabled for like a few days. at least.
If I see it correctly, right now Harkonnen is not researching anything.
That is true, yeah.
I don't know why. Harkonnen cannot have Tessia, so that is not the option. That is not why. Oh, they started Symbols of Poverty right now. Alright.
I see. Looking at
Vernius
the
will just-
knowledge from Vernius, they're at 70
Yeah.
knowledge very nicely.
That is
That's a good number
that is
from them.
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. They will basically, yeah, they can. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Look at that.
They have
Look
a
at the blue
research
tree.
hub. They have a research hub in every village,
Wow.
which is the way to go. Because as Verniers, you may be thinking, okay, I will get high knowledge either way, but you definitely want more knowledge. You want as much knowledge as you can get, because a lot of things scale with your knowledge as Verniers. So the higher your knowledge, desto better is your resource production. Desto better is your harvester collection, I think, even, and desto faster you can train your military and stuff. So everything is tied together with your knowledge count.
And I think in this game we will see Avernius just completing the whole tech tree. I think it is more than
Yeah.
possible.
It is possible.
Because if you look at the tier 4 blue techs, it's only 9 days.
It's not
Like,
a lot.
It's not at
Wow.
all. It's really low.
Yeah, if you hover over Spice Enlightenment and Automated Manufacture, you will see how the knowledge is tied to your resources. You get recruitment speed and regeneration, and spice production plus 0.5 spice production per knowledge, which is a lot.
Yep. So basically, right now with this knowledge amount, Vernius recruits their units 35% faster,
Yeah,
which is insane. That's one of Harkonnen's counselor, and it's better.
or basically the better as the siege.
Yeah,
That gives you
it's
recruitment
better,
speed.
and it's insane.
Now, if you select Nua, the hero of House Vernius, this will give you an extra 20% of recruitment speed. So then you're already at 50%. A bit more.
Yes, but he decided to opt for Sater.
Yeah. It's definitely the harder choice to make. It's harder to play. So very interesting to see this.
Is there someone to
and
eliminate?
we will see how we can pull it off, because it's very, very important to micro your units the right way. You definitely want to work with your control groups, with your keyboards, and set up your units correctly. Now we see them reshuffling their asphalt to triple red, triple yellow, triple blue, which is, I think, a nice time for that. They don't fight anyone. They're like sitting in the back peacefully. So month 5, I think it's a good time for that.
Yep. And also, Corino will finish their monument in 1 day. Basically getting their 400 votes up and starting their hegemony production, which in month 5, I think it's a bit late. Well, not a bit, but it's quite late.
Yeah,
Better late than never, but you know.
Don't have any military research yet. I think we saw that in the previous game too, where they had no military in the later game, which is definitely a choice to make. But you will have a hard time if some player decides to like attack you, pillage you, kill your base.
Yeah, because Corino has the best chance at winning on Hedge, and the second best chance is winning on Gov, and then there comes Chom. I think domination victory is much easier to get on Corino than to Chom, and I don't know why he opts into crew training program to get solar reproduction if he's not doing that to drop their base as fast as possible.
I see. Yeah.
Because right now the technologies that he has developed basically contribute to none of their strongest wing cons, and I feel like that's quite quite a disadvantage in this lobby, especially because there's Vernius in the lobby. If he decides that he will obfuscate crafts, and Corino did not start up their plus 70, which they are famous for doing, before it gets obfuscated, they are out of the hedge game. They cannot win on hedge anymore.
Yeah.
So in this lobby, it is especially important to get it up and running ASAP.
They are definitely going full economy, full political play here.
Yep.
If you look at Observatory Mountain, they are building it out.
And you love to see it. That's what we need. That is what we need.
I mean, I like this. I like this. You don't see that in like the. I don't know if I call them pros, but like the experienced players, they will not go for that strategy. But it's a fun strategy, and I love to see it.
I think even at the highest level, everybody starts to or wants to contest at least 2 win cons, and Corino can easily contest Gov with their 400 votes. It's not even a question. But of course, the main win con of Corino is hedge. That is the win con for them.
The question will be how fast can they get the governorship, because if you really try to go for the governorship and that is your primary win con, you definitely need the how is it called? Lance Red Quarters. The embassy.
Oh yeah.
Because this will you will get 10 Lance Red standing on council opening, and the treaties you have will give you a bit more. You definitely need that to get to governorship very fast. Because if you don't, then the other players, as we see here, will start hedging, and then it's too late to go for the governorship. Because the game will end.
I think embassy in itself is a building you want to get. Like, not only if you want to go for Gov, but just to actually raise your Landsred standing, which is for houses that actually have Landsred standing. I'm looking at you, Fremen, who doesn't. Will want to have as high of a standing as possible, because it just helps in hedge, it helps in having voting power, because it raises your max influence. So just that embassy building, I think, is one of the best main base buildings to build. It's right up there with research center, administrative hall, and monument and bazaar. It's just one tier lower. Like, you want to get that as fast as possible as well. In my opinion, of course. So look, the players decided to have a quick bathroom break. Which is like, we're all human. At least I hope we don't have any thinking machines in the lobby.
Vernius doesn't need a bio break.
Vernius doesn't need a bio break, that is true. And we are back in action?
No?
No?
We are back
Yes?
in action.
Okay, yes.
At your service.
Arcanine just standing here menacingly at the border near Rikez. Looking at the heroes, Corino decided to go for Aramsham, which in this lobby I don't really like. I don't think you want to go for a Sardaukar heavy army in this lobby. Vansitsia is sure, I think in this lobby is the best hero to pick, and with them you want to have the gear for the conscript rifleman that decreases the command points required and decreases their HP and damage, because overall with small formation the conscripts deal actually more damage with Vansitsia. it is the most DPS the Corino army can have. And with a Ramsham, it's just basically a Sardukar army, which is tanky, executes units, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
I don't think this was the correct choice. What do you think, Mix?
I don't like the conscript blob. It's so annoying to play against. I really hate it. You have just like a huge army of conscripts and you try to kill them, and then when Sikia enables her ability and they just heal. So I hate that army.
And that's why they are the better choice. That's why they are the better choice, because
It's
so
definitely the
frustrating
better
to play
choice, I
against.
would say too. But yeah, they're doing it right. They have the Saraka in their army. Now they're
I
queuing
would
up
love
their
to see some
military
gears on them.
research. So now they're leaning into the military, getting valuable trinkets now.
Oh, they still don't have Imperial administration. Oh no.
Yeah, you definitely need that. It's such a strong technology for them.
You need that, like you desperately need that, because this Pleskrit village is basically losing out on extra 20% resource production and
Yeah.
plus 10 salary production, which is not that much, but it's still lost. And also not having investment offices just hurts. It hurts. As for, you know.
Now they will crank their influence and intel production. They're building a propaganda office in Observatory Mountain.
Oh no. Oh no.
I love this. I love this. How
I
many
don't.
influence? They're only making 8. They're trading with their Space and Guild branch.
Yeah, so right now this village is giving them 4 influence production. And 12 intel production. Oh my god. Oh. You still need to base drop.
That is true.
That is the problem here. You still need to base drop.
And the
Let's see the resources.
The options are growing thinner here. Harkonnen taking more and
Yeah.
more territory.
I mean, if you are going for Gov, you might as well drop in Sabda, like next to the other Imperial base, because this is the most bunkerable position.
There they go.
Oh. Oh no. I don't like this. Such an exposed Imperial base.
That is true. But I
This
don't
can
think
get
they are the
blown up.
target here. I don't think the lobby will band together to destroy that base. They are more focused on Harkonnen here. I don't think Harkonnen made any friends. And they are
But it
clearly
is.
in the lead with their hatch game.
They are in truce with everyone right now.
I see.
In fact, they are the only ones who are in truce with everyone, because Corino just doesn't want to truce with Bernias or Ikaz.
Now
I think
Harkonnen
if-
is just begging for the crafts obfuscation for them.
Yeah. Looking at the passive edge, yeah, they are in the lead and they have a lot of villages to cap. Castor did this in their previous game as well. They had, I think, like 8 villages to just capture, which is a lot, like really, really a lot to just spike with.
Yeah.
The lobby will have to respond to that somehow.
I mean, maybe we will see another surprise governor play, like in round 1, where Castrax actually lost that game because Atreides went for a quick governor rush.
That they did, yes.
I believe
so it was
Triceratops is now playing in the first seed round.
Yep.
I would
Right
love for
now-
them to win.
Well,
I
You
hope
can
they.
get in, you can hop into the Evox chat and start cheering on Toys R Us right now. In fact, I encourage everyone to just get into the Evox stream and
Yeah, cheer on Toys
check
R
on
Us.
them.
Yeah, definitely check out the other
Link says
streams.
cheer on Toys R Us. Yes.
We also have Whaler streaming, I think, with Russian commentary, which is very nice. I see. Okay, Whaler didn't manage to get into a lobby. That is unfortunate.
Whaler is in the lobby right now. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they saw the code in the Tourney talk.
You did ping everyone, right? You used that everyone.
I didn't ping Whaler for that.
Yes, but you pinged everyone that we are starting soon. I think. Yes, you pinged here. Okay. Well, it's fine.
I will check with Whaler.
I think he is watching my stream right now.
I see. So he found a solution. I don't think he can join afterwards because we didn't allow more spectators, like mid-game joining.
Yeah, we didn't allow mid-game joining. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. What is your prediction this game? Who will win it? Who do you think?
Tough to say because Vernius has a nuke, for one, and can obfuscate. And so what would really hurt here for Harkonnen, considering their hedge, is to obfuscate Instill Fear.
That is true. That is always an option. It would.
So if they
Vernius would lose the neural core building, which is nice for them. Don't know how much it will give them though.
I don't know how much knowledge that gives them, but it would stop Harkonnen from spiking, because currently these villages cost around 80 for every village, yes. So they can cap around 4 of them at once. About 4 of them at once.
Yeah.
Or just after each other. So denying that from Harkonnen can actually buy enough time for them to dig up a region or to win on passive, because Vernius also has 4 or maybe 5 pocket reef. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pocket regions they can just decide to cap when they have to spike.
Yeah. Vernius has to decide pretty soon though. If I were Vernius, I would decide right now what to do. I think obfuscating their crafts is still the better option.
But it doesn't stop the front runner.
No, it wouldn't really hard stop them.
It would do nothing to them because see, yes, here we go, spice tax hits. So, and now the front runner is revealed.
Now, how will the lobby react to that?
They probably don't. They think there's still enough time, which they might be right. Yeah, there is still time, but
Not
look
a
here.
lot.
6, 12, 18, 24. 3600 hedge in the back for Harkonnen, just waiting to get captured. That is scary. You don't want to underestimate that. Also, Ika's looking here with their big pink empire and only one sanctuary. It's
Why
a
do
bit
they
sad
only
to see.
have one sanctuary though? They could have more.
They can drop one region, or maybe they will drop two if they capture this region in the southwest side.
Yeah.
Ainin, that they can drop two regions to get two sanctuaries, but I don't know if they want to do that right now, because one of them is actually one of their biggest manpower producing villages. It's the only manpower producing village they have. Yeah, I don't think they will drop that.
Yeah, they dropped the other region here. They're definitely eyeing the special regions that Vernius currently occupies. That in the later game they definitely want to take those. And we see an assassination starting. Interesting.
And there is no counter intel on Harkonnen.
Oh my god. Yeah, I wanted to say, I'm my winner that I'm believing in is Governor victory for Corino here. I think they can do it.
That is definitely possible.
I would love that.
Yeah, my prediction for this game is that Harkonnen wins either on Chom on Hedge, because they just got 30% and they have 800 production per day.
That is true.
Which is really nice. They are not oppressing any of their spice villages, so they decided to not go 100% on Chom.
Either way, it's good for them because they get the bonuses from it.
Yeah.
They will have a hard time competing against Vernius and Corino. They both have like high Solari production.
Looking at the infiltration cells, it's gonna be a bit tough because they have one infiltration cell that is easy to reach on Mount Idaho, and then there's two others in the back on the Harkonnen spice fields. Oh, Imperium Summit comes up, which should give them a sign that one of them is being assassinated.
That is so early to come up here.
Maybe Corino will tell the lobby like, "Hey guys, I'm actually assassinating Harkonnen."
Yeah,
and if the lobby believes them, they
Harkonnen
can
did the
deny
right
it.
thing and put instantly 2 agents on counter intel here.
Yep. That's the appropriate response.
Yeah, if you see this resolution coming up, it means someone is being assassinated. An assassination has been started. That's the only time this resolution comes up. Yeah, and Castro is pointing out in chat. I think I'm getting killed.
I think I'm getting killed, yes.
Yes, you are. But I don't think this will happen.
Me neither, I don't think it will go through.
Harkonnen is
Especially
also
because-
very hard to assassinate.
Oh, and there it goes. The lobby decided that they do not want to run the risk of them being assassinated, so they just decided to not trust anybody and voted up.
Yeah. I mean, Corino
Also
could have
infrastructure.
told them. They could have said, "Okay, here, I'm assassinating Harkonnen. Don't vote on it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hedge
and the
obfuscation
hedge,
comes on down.
nice.
Symbols of authority is out. That's
I would have done
Okay,
it a
let's-
bit earlier when they were at 18k or something.
oh, this is already this is good enough, more than good enough,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So now Harkonnen, I don't know. Can they still win on Hedge? All they have to do is pay the tax constantly and maybe decap a special region from Corino, because that Well of Riches is, I mean, it's a bit of walk, but they can get there and easily decap it because it's not bunkered up by anything.
Yeah. Now Haken is still the
What's
target,
in-
and Ikas and Vernius are banding together to fight them.
We do see that Vernius is now walking over Podersink to possibly capture Mount Idaho. I don't think Harkonnen has an airfield there. Oh, they do. Okay. Will this be a betray? Because they are in truce, they cannot fight. They cannot break the truce in
they're in
the
truce?
region without betraying.
I see. Yeah, that's... Now they're realizing, I think, and want to pull to the Imperial base.
Yep. But I feel like Harkonnen will get the jump on them.
Oh no! They are taking the Imperial base!
They are taking down the
I
base.
didn't notice!
What?
Oh! Interesting. I thought they would fight. But no.
That is a turn of events I did not expect.
Wow.
What can Corino do here?
Probably
Nothing really.
not a lot. They can try to defend, and they will fly in their army.
If they had well, here comes the Corino army.
This is a hard fight.
His breach is down. There is no breach on the main base. Braban's ability gets activated, giving them 30 armor. Damn.
Yeah, this base is going down quickly.
Is it? Is it? It should, yes.
Yeah.
It will go down. Two brave mercenaries trying to defend the base, but alas,
At your service, as long as you pay.
it is with no success. They're
Yeah.
basically tickling this army. Yeah, and
It's
this base just
definitely
goes
the right
down.
play, I think. You almost always want to blow up the second Carino base, or at least one of the bases of them.
That is true, yes.
Um,
But was it the correct play for Vernius?
that is the question, yeah.
Because I don't think it was. I don't believe.
Yeah, maybe as Vernius you would think, okay, I need Carino to stop Harkonnen in the west.
Yeah, I think Vernius should expand towards Corino on the north, liberating that renegade base and connecting the nodes so that they have an access to the main Imperial base from the north.
Mm-hmm.
Because from this side, there is nothing that is defending the Imperial base. It's just the base and the army. There are no missile turrets that you can place that will hit the army. There is nothing.
Yeah.
So and they probably know that in this main base is the 400 watts. So if they want to blow up a base, I would go for that, because basically Governor is the only win con right now Corino has. Checking the passive, they have plus 35, which is not that much, considering this is a Corino. So if you want to shut down a Gov rush on Corino in this lobby, I think I would expand here to potentially allow me to actually snipe that base as well, because that base was only there to disrupt Hark. I don't think I wanted to blow that up if I'm Vernius here.
That is true. And Harkonnen is still 4k hedge ahead of every other in the lobby.
With 5 villages to capture.
This is still very dangerous for the rest of the lobby to deal with.
It is.
Now Vernius has 500 authority in their bank. They definitely... I would definitely capture a few of the villages you have in the back, just to don't have the cap on your authority. I think, yeah, the only chance for Carino to win the game here or get second place is to try a governorship win.
Yeah, but
it will.
can they?
Yeah, it will be hard. Every other faction has their triple blue base votes unlocked, so it will be a hard thing to achieve.
I mean, they do have 2 charters right now. What they don't have is enough Landsred standing to actually
Yeah.
become Gov eligible.
That is a problem. Because you need
Because-
450 Landsred standing to be eligible for the governorship.
Yes. And right now they are not in truce.
Yeah, and they're not producing anything because they don't have a truce, they don't have their base was killed.
The embassy?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
embassy was in that base. This will be a hard game for Carino. I think my prediction just dropped the chances.
They dropped to an all-time low.
Yeah. Shit.
Nothing is lost yet. Miracles can happen,
That is true.
but they need to get their Landsred up somehow if they want to win on Gov. And they don't manage to secure Judge of the Council
Vernius and Ikas voted judge on Harkonnen?
with Corino. I do agree with that. And you can't really give it to Ikes because they might have the tech.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
give
want
it to
waste that either.
Vernius. Give it to Vernius and vote sale incentive on Harkonnen, I would say. This allowed Harkonnen to vote sale incentive on Carino.
I mean,
Harkonnen is at 36% Chome. This might be still a Chome game
Yeah.
for them.
how much money do they have? They have 5.1k.
They definitely need
Vernius
to back
has
this bit.
25.
Vernius has
Vernius
to
has
buy some.
25k. Yeah. Harkonnen at 38%. Harkonnen is looking scary. And they started oppressing only the worm nest, which if you want to chome, you might as well oppress all of your spice fields. You know?
Yeah, and they still have the spice field in the middle region. I don't understand. As the other
me
players,
neither.
I would definitely decap that if I see this Chome number, 38%.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing I would do. So I think the initiative lies on Ikaz and Vernius to do something. Harkonnen is just fat and happy in their corner here.
Very fat and very happy.
They
Somebody should
definitely
change.
took advice from Cream in shorting the market.
I did see that video. Yes.
I mean, it's working for them.
It is, yeah,
38%.
don't get me wrong. Maybe Ikaz decides that it's enough.
And now
This is a time for a change.
they definitely would like to attack Harkonnen, I think, because
How can I
with their
assist
champions they still can farm hedge.
Muskets
And
are unloaded. Anything for our liege.
Maybe truce breaking somewhere.
Are they still allies?
Corino has an alliance with Ikaz right now. Maybe they are coordinating to attack Harkonnen. Vernius still didn't finish all of their tech trees. This is a very military heavy Ikaz main base.
Yeah, that is
Do
true.
you usually do this? I don't have much experience with Ikaz.
Yeah, I think I will mostly do the same. I probably will get my eco buildings before my military buildings.
Mm.
Admin Hall or Harvester Works, maybe. The rest is pretty standard. Maybe swap intelligence agency with the embassy. That's an option. But you don't have to, of course. Now, what do we see in the middle here? Who is fighting who?
Oh, this is... I think...
Ekas and
I think
Vernius against
Harkonnen is
Harkonnen.
right.
What's our next step?
Yes. Maybe Corino as well. Corino should definitely send some Sardaukars
Oh,
to
now
their
here we
allies.
go. The pink, purple alliance.
No, they are
What?
killing Corino.
What is happening? What?
I don't understand.
This is...
Are they actually this worried about Corino Gov? I feel like this is an overreaction.
Now we see orbital bombardment coming down into this huge army blob. Wow.
Ikas does not care, and here
But
comes...
we see the Harkonnen
the
wind
kicker.
banner. Now,
Harkonnen did not time that well because he should have waited. He should have waited with that buy and waited for them to kill Corino. Do they have siege incentives? Yes, they do. So if they actually decide to move even further and kill the Imperial base, it would give Harkonnen a lot of money. Like,
I
a lot.
thought they wanted to attack Harkonnen there.
Yeah, me too. That seemed like the
But they're trying
Yeah.
to kill the last Corino base here?
no. I think they just tried to decap Observatory Mountain because
No, I
it's
think
producing the most
I think they want to
influence
kill
them.
that base. Are they that scared of the governorship?
Do they? But do they want to? I don't think that's a great idea.
I think
It
they
would
want
give
to.
Harkonnen 2 specials.
Yeah, I don't think it's the right call to make here, but they seem set on
It
it.
is a call. It is a call, but I don't know if I like this.
I mean I love this. I love this huge army blob of 3 factions. This is the big alliance. Now another orbital is
orbital
coming
strike.
down. Oh, okay.
they are
push
going.
through. They push through.
Yep, they are going.
And will engage the remnants of the Corino army here. I think this Corino
This is
army
going
will
to be a
fall
base
in
kill.
seconds.
It should.
Ika is staying
Is this actually
behind
going to
in
be
the
a base
orbital.
kill? Oh no. Ikas is tanking that orbital, taking a shower in it.
Yeah, they want that base down.
Oh no. No, you don't.
The poor
It
Corino.
only benefits Harkonnen. Oh no.
I mean, I would agree in most lobbies you want to do that. You want to kill the Corino bases, but
Comes
in
the
this
defense
lobby,
bridge.
Corino isn't really a threat here.
Yeah, but because if you look at it, Corino is holding 11% of the shares.
Yeah, this plays right into Harkonnen hands.
This is 100% playing into Harkonnen's hands. You don't want to do that. Also, this goes to show why Corino has to go for military attacks much earlier and a bit less on the blue and yellow side. But yeah, this is rough.
Now I wonder who in this lobby manipulated Vernius and Ikas to join this endeavor. I bet it was the Baron. Interesting. I mean, poor
Oh.
Corino, but I love this.
Poor Corino, yes. But
I don't love it in strategic terms, but I love this whole thing that's going on here.
I do love the balls on the players just saying, yeah, he's going go. Let's just kill him.
Let's
Why
kill
not?
him, push through.
Let's kill him. Yeah. Do it now.
Now we do still have a Vernius nuke somewhere. Is it
We
ready?
do, but I feel like that's for when Harkonnen is trying to capture a village.
It is ready to launch.
And
yeah.
here goes the last Imperial base. Will Harkonnen capture that spice field? He is. Oh my god. So greedy. Wow. So Harkonnen started a siege on this village before the base died, allowing them to capture it after the base dies, because when the base dies, every village that the player owned who died will become devastated for 10 days. But because the siege started before the base was killed, they can actually capture the village right after the player dies.
Yeah.
That is well played by
Now
Castorex.
Vernius
And
and
now-
Ikas have to turn. And
Now he
they
will
have
just
to do
buy up all the shares.
They have to do so quickly.
Oh man. Castor did not pillage any of his sieges before pulling the trigger, which is, I think it's a mistake. He should have, before going above 40%, he should have went home, pillaged all the sieges, all the villages, got 20%, like 20k salary, and then pulled the trigger
Yeah,
to
that
win.
is true.
They do have a good economy though. 500 a day is pretty good.
Okay, Vernius spent all their money buying up. Yeah, but they have to take Harkonnen here.
Yep.
Decap those regions, destroy the spice fields.
Spice crew reporting.
They need to do something.
Yeah, and they need to do it fast.
Because the problem with Chom Wincon is that you can't just stop it by decapping a region. You actually have to get in there and get your own economy up and running to buy shares. And even then, that may not be enough and you just have to base kill someone.
Yeah. And at this point, it might not be fast enough what they're doing. Now Vernius is capping back territories, which is nice, because I think they were still capped on authority.
I think the players are right now just trying to get second place.
Maybe.
Because they might have realized that Harkonnen is too far ahead to actually stop in the Chom. So maybe they are just rushing to get the second place. That's what it seems to be.
But then Ikas would have to attack Vernius and take the specials off of them. Or maybe attack
Or just
Harkonnen.
The only thing they have to do is just farm a bit of hedge.
Yeah.
But everyone is in truce with everyone. Wow.
Okay, Vernius capping 2 regions.
Okay, so right now Ikez is behind 1.6k hedge from Vernius. They have more passive and they can farm. So what they can do is just get into Imperial Basin, destroy the buildings, kill the militia, and from this village alone they will get,
At your command,
I think,
my lady.
yeah, they will get around 1100 hedge.
Yeah. Though it will
And
be
if they actually
difficult
capture
for
the
them.
village,
Will be difficult for them because as Vernius you definitely want to snipe those champions.
Ready for the hunt.
Do you need
do
help,
they have
my
enough?
lady?
They only
What's
have
the plan?
5 railgun drones. Is it enough?
Mm,
Because I don't think so. That's not enough to... maybe for the musketeer it is enough. Where's the other
I
champ?
mean, it always depends on who are you fighting and how many resonance drones you need. Sometimes against some army comps you want to have more resonance drones. But I think I would do a similar army comp here. Maybe only do 1 or 2 resonance drones and get more railgun. Now
see.
Ikas is going for it. Yeah, Vernius has 2 assassins here.
Goodness, nicely done assassinating the only knight in the army.
Now, this battle engagement Ikas can't win, I think.
No,
Will
I
they
don't
try?
think so either.
And Harkonnen, in the meantime, capping a special region. This is just
Okay.
the battle for second
Challenge
place,
awaits.
I would say.
Yeah, it is. I wanna see some predictions. Will it be a chome or a hedge win for Harkonnen?
Now, can Vernius manage micro
Ready, my
this?
lord.
Set up the engineers very nicely, they're invisible, cannot be targeted. The army is healing. Now, will this be enough?
Ikas does have stab detection, so they can actually see Sitar and the engineers.
Yeah, on the musketeers, right?
But yes, but
They do
Whitmore
have
will
it
just
active.
get obliterated.
Nice. Vernius targeting down the champions.
Challenge awaits.
Oh,
They do need to target down the one champion musketeer here.
I
That
don't
way
think they-
Ikas can't spike with the kills. And Ikas will
Ikas
lose
will
his
just-
engagement.
Aye, here, yes. Oh, portfolio scrutiny.
Oh, great.
That basically seals the deal, and how much hedge would that mean for Harkonnen? Let's see. They have 585 shares to sell. 3 hedge for per share. That will mean they have 1.5k.
Yeah, but
Just
that also means that
from shares.
Vernius can sell the 9% they have and pretty surely get the second place here.
I feel like if that musketeer dies, it is pretty much over for Ikas.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
will die.
Where are the
There it
drones?
goes.
I mean, it's a
is
gamble to
unlucky.
do this, to try to play for second place here and not
My
decap
blade at your
Harkonnen.
service.
I don't think they could have done much
Yeah,
in
that
this
is true.
scenario.
That is true. Would be very hard to decap Harkonnen against their army, and even then, they are so ahead in Chom. Might not be enough. Now, the Ikas army is almost entirely wiped. The monument will also go down now.
Reports to you,
Yep.
Very nicely
Just
played by
cleaning it up.
Vernius.
Harkonnen is not selling the shares. I don't know why. Because it's basically GG's if they sell the shares, because Spice tax will hit soon.
Maybe they want the Chom victory.
But they cannot buy.
That is true, they cannot buy.
So right now they cannot buy, only sell.
And now
And they are
Vernius is on
pillaging
the
a speech
offensive.
right now. Yeah. This is a dragged out, slow victory for Harkonnen, and the lobby just accepted it.
Yeah.
Here comes the spice tax. Harkonnen will capture Well of Riches. It will be exactly the amount of hedge that they need to win. Oh,
Do they have the authority?
yes, it is. They started
Almost.
selling.
Yeah.
They started selling their hedge, their chome.
Yeah, and that is
Once the village goes through,
that
they will have enough
means
authority.
a pretty clear second place with Vernius. Ikas
Yep.
didn't manage to spike here with their champions because they lost engagement. And I don't think they can decap any special regions here.
No, I don't think so. They don't have any. They don't have the time right now.
Yeah, and don't have
Also,
any
meanwhile, the
sanctuaries
other
to
pod,
capture.
has finished their game. It looks like Askanta won with first place, and Atreides got second.
Who played a trade in that pod?
Who was Atreides in that pod? It was Gnome Jabbar.
Very nice.
I looked at Atreides and thought, that it has to be Toys R Us, and then I realized no, there were some overlaps in that lobby, so there had to be we had to adjust a few factions
Nice.
so that everybody
GG.
can play their second or at least higher strength.
Okay, and the capture goes through on Well of Riches. That's basically
Yep.
GG.
That is indeed GG's. Casterex, bit of a BM in the chat. Sorry lads, I can't help either of you right now. I'm busy winning.
The arrogance.
The arrogance of coming back from the losing brackets.
There we have it. A Harkonnen win on Hedge.
Casterex
And
manages to secure their place in the final
Verniers coming in the
alongside
second place.
Remus.
Yeah, with
Indeed.
24k Hedge. Ikes with 21. They failed to spike over Verniers there, sadly. They couldn't win that engagement. And Carino trying a economy governor strategy and were killed by the whole lobby.
Interesting to see,
definitely
but
had a hard game.
he definitely did, yes. GG's to all players involved, and we are going into the finals after a small 10-minute break. Everybody get a sip of water, go to the bathroom, and then we'll wrap up the beginner tourney. So, see you all in 10 minutes. Until then, I'm just gonna let the stream run here. Listen to the background music of this beautiful game.
on, please.
Okay. We're setting up the next lobby.
Come on, hit that switch for me, Azcanta. I gotta get out of the way here. Minxie and DB, we've got all of the non-players in the lobby. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, make some space for the players.
Players are joining.
Okay, got a lobby. We got a final.
On that plan, that they want to kill Corino,
That is true.
because it just gave the victory to Harkonnen.
They basically agreed, okay, Harkonnen will win. We will try to get second place. Which you can do with this tourney rule. But it's a risky choice. And for ECAS, it did not play out well.
That is true, yes.
So I think the safe choice for ECAS would be to get Vernius to attack Harkonnen. Because as ECAS, you can then just farm the Harkonnen villages for hedge. I think that would have been a better choice than to try to attack Vernius there. And Vernius, on the other hand, can try to maybe capture Observatory Mountain or Well of Riches. Maybe that would have been a chance for them to win the game as first place even.
Yep. Or even for Ikas to climb up to be second if Ikas decides that no, I don't want Corino to die, but instead they slow down the others.
Yeah, I think the
and
decision
cooperate somehow.
Yeah, the decision to blow up Corino, the second base of them, is you don't have to.
You really don't, yeah.
Corino tried that strategy with eco and political play, but it would have taken them a long time to try a governor play there.
Yeah, I don't think that was the play. That definitely gave Arctan the win and basically forced ECAS into third. I think Vernius realized that killing Corino here would secure their second place, and that's why he rallied Harkonnen into that play, which is, in my opinion, nicely done, well played. I think if ECAS realizes that wait, actually I can't actually spike and I can't really break these bunkers that Vernius and Harkonnen set up, then maybe I should try and capture some villages that should be Harkonnens to spike with, or farm some of their villages while they kill Corino, so that I can actually get up there with them and get second place instead of Vernius. Or just stop Corino from being base killed altogether. Because it did not pay off for them to kill Corino.
Yeah, was definitely tough. I think the most toughest spawn was for ECAS there.
Oh, definitely.
They were pretty much in the open, not a lot of rocks and deep deserts to build nice sanctuaries for them. And Vernius did a very nice play capturing the two specials very early. I think as ECAS you wanna try to get them before Vernius gets there. Maybe that is a play.
I don't know. What I know for sure is that Ikaz did not want Corino to die.
Yeah, for sure. And even Vernius doesn't really want Corino to die there. Basically, both of the parties want Corino to be in the corner. Don't lose Well of Witches to Harkonnen. Don't lose Observatory Mountain to them, and let Corino try to take regions off of Harkonnen there.
Yep. Also because Harkonnen's worst matchup is Corino, because they execute the executioners with the Sardaukars. So I do believe that helping Corino stay alive would have been so much better. Just because I don't think Ikaz has a lot of... I don't think Ikaz has a chance against this Harkonnen army. They don't have that great of an AoE for the Serbs.
Yeah.
They can snipe the executioners and then maybe farm the Serbs, but Castor opted into a gunner heavy army composition, which I don't know if Ikaz has any tools against that.
I played Ikaz a bit, and maybe the best chance is to lean into a fencer heavy combo. I know fencers are really, really good against the conscript blob of Corino. If you're up against Corino and Corino is building like their conscript heavy army with Rancikia, you can just lean into the fencers and they will dive the backline and kill all the fencers. I played that against Antonel.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
So the fencers are not a bad unit. I think they have proven themselves a good unit.
Yeah.
I think a few patches ago they were just, you would never build fences.
I still doubt their I don't know. I don't really like the fencers personally. I just don't think they are as useful as muskets and squires. I mean, I haven't really played that much with Ikaz, but from what I've played, I haven't really found a good use for them.
I haven't tried playing like a fencer heavy comp into a Harkonnen gunner spam. I don't know how that will work out.
Yeah, me neither.
But it's definitely worth a try. Maybe it works. Now we are ready to start the finals of the beginner tourney. We had a lot of great games, a lot of great players, a lot of great strategies, new strategies, old strategies, and those are the 4 players that made it through and now battle for the first place. In this game there will be no second place. We will just have one winner of the whole tourney. So no cheeky strategies for trying to go second place here. Just first place.
This is just a good old Dune Spice Wars.
Yeah.
First to win wins. No second place, as Minx mentioned. Alright.
We are
And
in.
looking at the just the overall layout of the spawn, this is pretty balanced spawn, I would say, for all players
This map
involved.
looks so different from the last map.
Yeah.
More rocks, more deep deserts.
4 deep deserts, 1 between each player. Every player has their own little corner they can build in, and nobody is really closed off from any region of the map. Ika's got the mountains to make sanctuaries easier.
I think it's very nice for them, this map.
Yeah, I think so as well.
They can have an easy sanctuary at the start of the game, the one bite of a cliff. taking well of Ridges, the Banya Erg.
Oh, can you see that? Wait, check that little village. It's called Göchelon,
From Ecast.
between the mountains and the deep desert. Yes. If you capture Munjuvale, it's an instant
that's
sanctuary.
A sanctuary? Wow.
Yes.
That's
That's
a crazy
so
village
strange.
spawn here. There's only one region bordering it. The rest is rock and deep desert.
And another one, right above Munjuvale. If you
True.
capture Ashbu, Hadesek becomes a sanctuary as well.
Wow. Those are two... If I were to live on Dune, like, if that were the chance, I want to live in those two villages.
Yeah, the scenery must be nice, yeah.
Yeah, and it's safe.
With those
no one
mountains and the
will
deep
attack
desert.
me. I'm just in
Yeah,
my
that is true as well,
sanctuary,
yeah.
minding my business. Sometime there will be like a
Ready for the
musketeer
hunt.
coming to collect taxes and stuff.
That is indeed a crazy spawn for Rikaz.
We will
They can-
see, yeah, how they will manage this spawn.
Easy. And also this they did get an energy sources right next to their main, which is also their only energy sources village, which is not that great because this could be another sanctuary if you capture this rich mineral region down here and Munjuvale up here, which
Yeah.
you already want to capture.
And they pillaged
Because
the
of this
village in
little
the
village.
south, so they know they want to make this village here into a sanctuary. So they're already seeing the map layout very well.
That they do, but they do not see the godlike spawn up here in the polar sync region.
Not yet,
Not yet.
but I'm sure they will. Now, on the other side of the map, Bernie is very closely spawning to Worm's Nest, which will be very nice for them to have. And also having Space Wreck and Volcano in the backfield. But they might have to run into a Conan sometime in this game. But
Oh, they
yeah.
definitely will, because this great volcano is more Harkonnen favored than Vernius.
That is true.
If they decide to fight for it, right now Harkonnen can easily win any engagements against Vernius.
Yeah, I think as Vernius I would, maybe in the later game, in the mid game, I would care about those two regions. And would try to fight Harkonnen over Great Volcano. It depends what Harkonnen will do, because Harkonnen has Sandfall, Observatory Mountain and Right Rift in their backfield. So very nice specials for them. I think they would like Mount Idaho more than Observatory Mountain. Getting the Plastic for
Also-
them.
Yeah, they would definitely like that, but look at that bunker. These regions are basically hugging each other. These villages are
Yeah,
just the easiest bunker to actually build up.
I think the weakest spawn goes to Atreides. I mean, they have Crescent Ridge and Imperial Basin, which is nice, but apart from that, they will have to fight for more special regions.
I don't think they got a weak spawn at all. But it is probably the weakest, because just looking at the winds in the nearby regions, it's not that great. But looking south, this is a triple bunker on that spice
That
village.
is true.
This is a triple bunker from the southern side. Nobody's going to enter from that.
Yeah,
There's a bunker on the east to them.
and in the
Nobody's
north.
going to break that either. And in the north, they might not have good winds, but they have the Crescent Ridge that will basically cover them as
Yeah,
far as water goes.
yeah.
And another bunker.
They have
at
a
the
bunker
edge.
on each side. This is very defensible for them.
That is insane.
Maybe we will see
Insanity.
another governor try here from an Atreides player.
This is easily a governor spawn. And if they want to, they can also try capturing Worm Nest or Imperial Basin as a
Yeah,
means
for sure.
to start their hedge up.
as a tradies, I would definitely look for capturing Well of Riches or Worm's Nest. That would be very good for them.
Well of Riches is a bit of a hard spot. I mean, they
That is
can
true.
capture it with Peaceful Annex, but once ECAS gets it, how do you decap that?
I wonder
Because
if
there's
they
this
can
big
run through
mountain.
the spice field here, or if that is like a cliff you can't go through.
I don't know if you can actually. Like, there is a bit of a sandy area here. Like, there are no rocks.
Maybe they can.
And maybe you can walk through that and down here. But I doubt that. I think it's just all around the deep desert, and if that's the case, yeah, you're not gonna take that Well of
You
Riches.
have to walk through the desert there. Wow,
Yeah,
and
that's
Ika
not
is already recognizing the sanctuary there and taking Mundo Vale.
And they already got 2 sanctuaries up before the first Lance Red. And the special. That is insane. Insanely good spawn on Ikez.
Yeah.
Insanely good spawn for all parties involved. Maybe Harkonnen has a bit of a hard time pillaging villages because they are all so spread out and far from Kartag, but you know.
I mean, they can't complain. They have Right Rift in the back. That will be fine.
Oh, yeah.
It will definitely be hard to chome for Harkonnen, like they did in the last game.
Yeah, I think just trying to go both for Hedge and Gov, Rome, is the way to go again. But this Vernius player has proved that they will obfuscate Harkonnen's passive Hedge if need be,
That is true.
if they are ahead. Just at 20k. They don't care, they will do it if it's needed.
Yeah.
So
They definitely have experience with that. I think the one game I played with Remares, there also was a Harkonnen player in there, and we talked extensively about it.
Hmm.
So they definitely know the in and outs of obfuscations.
this is where the coaching actually pays off.
Definitely, yeah. Like,
Quick look at the tech trees, because we are quite in the game right now. Ikez going for lay of the land into artistic aspirations and now into the martial perfectionism and army logistics.
as you said
Pretty-
last game, going early martial. Yeah.
This is the I would say this is the bread and butter opening for Ikez. Getting perfected units ASAP, because training weaker units is just not worth it at all. So you might as well start getting those perfected units when you can.
Yeah. I would also go for
So-
cultural tourism pretty early here. Just giving you a bit more water and a bit more early Solari production with your 2, then 3. They will have 4 sanctuaries. That's 40 Solari.
They can have 5 with that second spice field. They can have 5 sanctuaries,
That is
maybe
true.
6. 6 sanctuaries. Imagine that, 6 sanctuaries.
1,
In
2,
this game.
3, 4, 5. 5,
they
maybe even
manage to
6.
Yeah.
If they get acid lakes and
So,
yeah, leave that spice field there. Just don't capture the spice field, go for Red Chasm.
and if they manage to get White Rift, they can get a 7th
True.
on this Minerals region to the east.
Wow. That is a godlike Ika spawn.
Insane.
Now the quirks
Actually insane.
have to work out too, but I don't. Yeah, they're okay. They're not perfect.
Look at Moon
but
Well.
yeah,
Look at
this
Moon
is
Well.
this is crazy.
Oh my god.
Times 3.
This is-
This is
And versatile.
how much
Versatile
intel is that?
And analyst.
3 times 2, so 6 intel. That's nice.
6 intel plus
Plus 20%. No, plus 60%.
60%. So that's gonna be around 10.
That's nice.
That's insane.
Very nice. Now, Atreides, recognizing the nice triple bunker down there, grabbing their second spice field for the early economy.
Yep.
Else
Tech
looking
tree wise,
good.
they are doing a cultural assimilation rush, which it's viable. I personally don't like it, but it is viable if you want to expand
Yeah.
fast.
It's for the
and-
early expansion, right?
Yeah, it is. And in this game, I might do that as well. Just after seeing all of these bunkers at the edges of my empire, so
Yeah.
I do agree. I do agree with this choice of tech development.
I would try to annex Worm's Nest pretty early. Because Vernius can't really contest it
Yes, but
with their suboid
they
block.
can actually bunker it up. There's a bit of a
True,
land.
if Vernius gets it, they can bunker it up, yeah. Now you
Vernius tech.
Vernius running around with their railgun drone very nicely.
Oh,
If you have an
stealing
early,
all of those.
yeah, if you have an early railgun drone with Vernius, you can send it around because it doesn't have any supply, doesn't get eaten by worms, and you run around the map and collect all the POIs that are lying around.
Looking at the Vernius tech,
Yeah,
I would say
very
this is
standard.
the bread and butter opener. Yet again, doing the same as he did it last game.
Yeah. Now
Nothing major.
going straight into the Spice Enlightenment, Chom support for the early economy. Maybe even trying to buy some Chom. If you can, it's always nice to buy Chom with Vernius in the early game. Because later on you will need it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say we've seen him play in the last game, and he did the exact same build, and it is. I would say it's viable. It's one of the most viable openings from what I've seen Vernius players go for.
Yeah.
It's Harkonnen, bread and butter yet again, grabbing all the necessary techs in the early game that they need.
Instill fear, Arrakis budgets, spying logistics, recruitment
Yeah,
initiative.
they got everything.
They have the land. Yeah. Those are like the pillars that you want. Yeah.
Main
and
base
you-
wise,
Main base.
By them.
is
That's nothing
Administrative
major.
hall for Harkonnen. Also administrative hall for Vernius. Research center for both Atreides and ECAS.
Yep.
Now ECAS is going for a Mason build second. This will boost their plascrete production, which is always nice for them.
It is nice, but not necessary. And also, they did not build the what's the name of this building? Administrative hall, because they already have more than enough sanctuaries for their authority production early game. They don't need any more.
Yeah.
What they need right now is to build up those villages and start their economy up. So it is very nicely played by Eskenta.
We do have a smuggler bounty in the first land
On
threat.
opposed.
Throwing it in. No, but those other two resolutions are very juicy for every faction.
Question is, what will they prioritize, the money or the other benefits? I mean, they can also get money from Imperial missionaries.
Yeah, missionaries
true.
is probably more money than bounty. We see Vernius ECAS going a bit for bounty. Vernius even winning Imperial missionaries against the Atreides. So they will... Yeah, they are the big winners of this land threat.
Yeah.
And the Atreides getting land threat standing, which is very nice for them, because they do have a lot of scaling with their land threat.
Yeah, and also, everybody has research agreement with everyone.
Nice.
A trade is using Jessica to its fullest.
Yeah, except
Maybe
ECAS
the-
and Verniers.
Yeah, I would love to see some political and economic truces as well if I'm the Atreides player here. Because why not? You might as well get everything that you can for free.
That is true.
We didn't talk about counselors, but everybody brought basically, I would say, the most viable combo
Yeah, for sure.
on each faction. Ibo Whip, Meza on Ikaz, Yui plus Jessica on Atreides, Bolik plus Bronzo on Vernius. There can be a bit of debate
But
about these picks being the most viable, but I believe Minx, you always bring these two, or like, oh no, wait, you actually use the other one that gives Lanzres standing and influence.
I'm playing a wild political Verniers, which is it's not better than Hedge. Hegemony on Verniers is still, I think, the best win con for them.
Mm.
But they have the technology and they have like the opportunity to go for a political victory. And if you choose that route, you definitely want to go the political counselor, Uman, not Uman Kudu. I don't know his name.
That's a different one. That's on Harkonnen.
There's definitely a way, but this counselor choice is for early tempo, for fast expansion, and for a fast hedge game for them, which is very strong.
Yep, and they are using that fast expansion by grabbing 3 of the nearest special regions already, denying Atreides the Worm's Nest and the Polar Sink.
Yeah,
I would actually love to see Vernius maybe expand into this Atreides bunker. I mean, soon to be Atreides bunker. Before Atreides can.
They can grab it early, securing the fuel cell and a nice bunker here.
Yeah.
That would be a thorn in Atreides' side.
Oh, it would be a roadblock, like a big roadblock. I don't think Atreides can break this in the near future.
Yeah.
Only with distraction. Meanwhile, Ika's just grabbing another sanctuary by capturing a village.
Now,
as
in this
as
game,
we saw it.
I wouldn't mind the other counselor over Mesa, the counselor that gives you, what is it? Solari production per sanctuary? Yeah, Sanya.
I think it is Sanya, yeah.
She would be
I
great.
wouldn't mind it either. It would definitely be interesting to see. I mean, what she would produce, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 15. So about 75 Solari right now. That is quite good, yeah.
That's quite good, yeah. Plus the technology, plus 10. That over 100 Solari production just from your counselor and the technology. But like
That is really good.
It's relying on the map gen to be favorable for you.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a game of chance you play.
Yeah. I do agree with you though. I wouldn't mind him picking up cultural tourism right now.
Yeah, I don't know what his economy
Give
is
so
doing.
much benefit.
Yeah, it would definitely show up his economy here. A bit in the minus.
This is definitely not that big of a minus for Escanta.
Yeah.
Here. This is more than fine. And now he's in the positive.
And looking at the knowledge of every player, they are all doing a really, really nice job of getting at least 20 knowledge, which is important for every faction.
Yeah.
having your base knowledge to research the technology you need in time, because if you're falling behind in your research and maybe get valuable trinkets late or getting your military late, there's definitely a chance that you will be out of the game while every other player is just racing towards the hedge win.
I agree. Looking at the Chom right now, Harkonnen doing Harkonnen things and grabbing 15% because they have 4 spice fields given to them.
Yeah, it's like the same strategy they did last game, securing all the spice fields in their area and getting a nice early chunk of Chom. Now we will see how this lobby reacts to that. If we see...
Definitely be interesting to see, because right now every faction is weak militarily except Harkonnen in the early game. I don't think there's an army here that can actually contest Harkonnen if they decide to just wander into
Yeah.
your territory and pillage everything you have.
And now we will see if they can coordinate against Harkonnen here. Because Harkonnen would love private mandate here. And we see in the chat
Because
Skenta, pointing
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, putting it on Atreides, nice call. Benefits them not a bit, because Atreides of course can't pillage any regions.
And the neutral regions.
Yeah.
I would love to see some Atreides aggression. Ooh, and
Very close. vote.
Harkonnen goes for infrastructure controls. It looks like the whole lobby was actually just bluffing with giving Atreides private mandate, because these votes, these are basically nothing. If Harkonnen decides that he wants that, then he gets it.
It's a nice bluff from them. Everybody greeting for the infrastructure control.
Yeah. Main bases are being built up nicely. Atreides is a bit behind, but usually that is the case because they are really
Yeah.
Plascrete hungry.
Always happens to me if I play Atreides. I'm always struggling to keep up my money, to keep up my Plascrete for my main base buildings. They will have enough
It's
for the
definitely
next. Yeah, like if you can't pillage a region and get the, what is it, 600, 500 Solari from it,
Yep.
it definitely hurts your economy. Which is a good
I
thing,
do
I would
agree.
say. It's hard for Atreides, but if it would be otherwise, they would just be so much stronger as they are right now.
Habanya Erk Rauch School
Hmm?
pointing out that ECAS has a region that is neighboring four sanctuaries next to the main. I wouldn't mind seeing that become a garden and just give a bunch of knowledge.
That would be huge for them. We will look
Yeah.
at their garden appointment on this map. I think Habanya Erk is fine, but also Mundu Vale would be a fine place to put it.
If he decides to put it on Mundu, well, he discounts 4 pretty good regions.
Yeah, because
One of them is the Imperial Basin, other one is the Polar Sink, Spice Field from Harkonnen, and one of the village bunkers from Atreides. So that is a valid choice as well.
I think I would prefer Mundu Vale for them. It would be a bit more defensive, it would reduce more cost from villages nearby.
Yeah, I can see that happening, yeah. As Kenta has all the things he needs to cook This game decided, okay, Ikaz is a spawn-dependent faction. Let's give them one of the best ones. Let's see what they can do with it. Vernius, I don't think you want to lose that village from the raiders.
Oh, is it liberated? That is true. But he can react in time here.
He reacted, yeah. He reacted in time.
Now you do want to pull the suburbs back here to get them into the main base range. Because it
Oh,
will
no.
be close.
Command needed.
Definitely.
no.
Oh, this is
Ay.
this is tragic.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. Losing
That was
the
very
neural
close.
node to polar sync. Also, looking at the polar sync quirks, it has water traders on it,
Oh,
which
that's
is
nice.
like the best quirk to have on polar sync.
Yeah.
But right now that production is cut in half.
They're doing a very nice job of connecting the villages here, choosing a very nice path for the neural nodes. The layout benefits them
this,
a
yeah.
lot. Through Space Reg, they connect 2 regions. They will have a hard time
yeah.
going for Great Volcano. They don't have
Uh,
clear. They will have to connect to the deep desert there.
They can do it through, through the deep desert.
Yeah.
Maybe if they capture that spice field and then go from there. But they would have to fight with. No, they can be connected in the neighboring region, right?
I think their main base ship would allow them to be tethered.
But they are tethered even if they are in a neighboring region next to a neural node
Yes,
that
I
is
think
connected
so.
to the network. Yeah. So they need something for the spice field to give them the tethered effect, which will be the main ship, as you mentioned. And they can easily get it from Space Wreck.
Yeah, that is true.
Everything is developing nicely.
Yeah.
And it looks like the raiders can walk through this mountain on the south, next to Well of Riches.
I see.
If you see, this siege is on the other side, and
Yeah.
they could get to this village without losing too much supply.
That is good to know.
It is actually
Traversable.
traversable, yes.
What a word. Yeah, everybody happy in their corner. Now we do
Yeah.
see some Harkonnen trying to pillage a village near Vernius, but they do
And,
fail.
Yeah. The gunner just dies from the lack of water. Bit sad to see. Also, really lucky Renegade base drop in the
Yeah.
pocket of Vernius.
As Vernius will like that, because firstly Atreides can't annex this, which is always nice to have in your backfield, like a region you don't have to have a unit on, so that Atreides can't annex it. And you can farm it, and you can destroy it for money and spaceship parts.
Also, I think
yeah.
the Vernius village itself is strong enough to actually repel the attacks once they
Yeah.
get the automated defense stack and get
If they have the militia in
militia.
it, then they can do it. I think only
Which
the
is-
automated militia will not do the job, but with fully built militia they can repel it.
I think Vernius is the only faction that can actually repel.
Yeah, it's very hard to defeat the
attack.
raiders.
Yeah,
Most of the time they get through and pillage your region.
they are
maybe-
basically guaranteed to pillage your region once
Maybe
they attack it.
Atreides militia with enough health.
I don't think so. I don't think. they can do that. Maybe with double batteries, but that's it. Yes, this is the finals of the beginner tournament. The best of the
Beginners.
beginners.
Yeah, we had a nice 3 weeks of competition here.
Yeah.
And I think it was a huge success for this because
Mm.
the server was active, people were talking, there was some coaching going on. It's definitely
Yeah.
paying off.
We obey.
I really enjoy casting games. I never realized that. I just enjoy seeing these players compete against each other.
Yeah, it's very nice to see.
Maybe this is being built up still.
Yeah,
ECAS finishes their triple blue.
a trade is also going for a triple blue in the beginning. Now
Ninja
you
are opting for the
probably
triple
you probably want a triple red as a tradies because it gives your units more health, and with your developments your units scale with health, so getting even more health is nice.
Yeah. I still believe that the triple red for the main base for the tradies is the way to go. More HP and percentage increase, like increasing your max HP by a percentage means even more HP.
Yeah.
So it is just the required thing for the
But
tradies.
we also talked about the governor possibility in this game, having such a nice defensible spawn. Maybe they noticed that and are trying to lean into it.
Yeah. Also, Rausku pointing out that Harkonnen is going for the double red main base composition, which he actually did in the last game as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh,
too.
I don't think many players actually play like this for Harkonnen, because they think that the double blue is better because of the intel production. I think it's up to preference. I personally like my army tankier with the armor and spamming less operations, or needing to work for my intel through pillaging and killing units more than just having it given to me passively. I feel like it's completely up to preference. If you want 20% more HP, you can do that. I just don't think you get that much bang for your buck.
Yeah. I would also say most of this stuff, like, is up to preference, like how you want to play your faction, because there are multiple ways to play every faction. Like, basically for every faction you have at least 2 ways to play them.
Yep.
Some of them are better, some of them are worse, but like if you play them right, it's definitely viable. Like, also talking about win cons and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Fremen can go politically if they want to. They can even
Let's
Chome
not
with
get into
Shamoom.
that. Let's not get into that, okay? I understand Kenry and their the meme, but it's not viable. Let's not gaslight ourselves, okay? It's not viable at all.
ECAS
I do like
having
a Shimu
six
game once in a while.
sanctuaries right now. That is a lot. If you're having a good game with ECAS, I think you have like 4 sanctuaries. If you're having a perfect game with ECAS, you have 5 or 6.
I do believe that as well. And one of the regions is no, three of the regions are specials. So you are not forced to make a sanctuary, which is, which is, I think it's a plus, because you can actually produce passive hegemony from that, which IKES is planning to do in 2 days.
That is true. They're going for it early. Skipping all the yellow tech. They not going for crew training program because they don't need it. Already having a lot of military tech, and after that they will go into political. I think this tech tree is very optimized for the way Iskandar wants to play here.
I think so as well. He also grabbed Insulated Valley because he has 2 regions that are 2-win, and he doesn't have a lot of villages, so those 2 villages are actually not just like a bit of their empire, it is actually like at least 25% of their empire. So it is, I think it's a nice D route to grab in this instance.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to see Iskandar building a research hub in Habania Urk. I don't know how much that would give. 20% times 5 is... Oh god.
Yeah, that's 100. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, math. It's 100%, so 2 knowledge for 1 research hub.
They are basically given 2 acid lakes.
Yeah, basically.
That is what's happening here.
And they do own acid lakes.
They do. And they do have a research hub
They
up
have
there.
3 acid lakes if you think about it. Okay, what do we have on land strat? Yeah. Shouldn't let Atreides or Hark get this. That is true. But you also don't want to give it to Ikas. Yeah, they're calling it out.
Yep.
I wouldn't like to give it to Harkonnen. I would rather give it to Atreides here. Because I would fear Harkonnen's assassin, and if you don't know the Eye of the Council, the 2 agents you get, they can't be captured. So if you put them onto another faction, they will stay there and not be removed. So this charter is very good for assassinations. And Atreides is gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely going political, I think. Yeah.
That is the case, yeah.
Very nice. I love to see it.
They have 24 influence production. 26 now. Jesus.
This is huge. 28.
This is like... What is happening? How is
They
that?
have 2 political agreements, I think.
Are they building influence producing building? Yes, they are
council
building
agents.
influence production buildings everywhere that is bordering an enemy.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
I mean,
this is some U12 level.
The highest...
Lance-red rushing.
I think the highest amount of influence you can get with Verniers without political agreements is around 24 influence. Which is still nothing against this Atreides number, and smugglers. Smugglers also can produce a lot of...
Smugglers can
influence.
get easily 40.
Yeah.
Like they can do that very easily. So Atreides only has 1 political agreement,
Oh, it's only 1.
so they can actually grab even more.
They do have a political agreement with ECAS. Interesting.
I think the EK has accepted it because they are right now trading with the Spacing Guild branch for influencing
true.
into parts or favored.
I don't think they will go heavily into politics. They still have it
No,
as
I
an
don't think so.
option, but they will definitely... Did they? Yeah, they chose Whitmore here. They will definitely try to hedge this out.
And they should, because this is a hedge spawn that they got. They need to start
Yeah.
their passive up right now and keep the pace with the others, because Harkonnen is already producing. They have had the tech to produce hedge for like quite a while, at least a month.
And if you play against Harkonnen, you can basically assume they are still ahead if they're even with you, because of all the regions they have in the backline they can capture for, like, in the end they can capture them for 50 authority. So you
Yep.
always want to assume Harkonnen is more ahead than they are currently. The same goes for like Corino, because Corino can produce massive amounts of passive hedge. Yeah, Ika is building out their
Ika's-
sanctuaries here.
Yeah, I think he is just building it up with masterpieces
Yeah.
and will plan on making this Habanya Erg into a garden. So just to actually contest Atreides on their governor Rincon.
For sure.
Yeah, it is needed because Atreides, if left unchecked, they will just run away with the win. Right here, right
They're
here.
almost the next land threat. They will be governor eligible.
If they can keep Eye of the Council, which I
Yeah.
don't think they want to. I think what they want to do now is grab Speaker right now after everybody just dumps their votes into Eye of the Council
Yeah,
and just outvote everybody with Speaker.
that is the plan. But the lobby is doing a nice job. If someone that is rushing for governor is getting like Eye of the Council early, you definitely want to vote it up again for the next council. So you get them off the Eye of the Council, or they have to spend more votes on it. You just want to delay them basically.
And it's been called out. Escanta calls out Atreides that he is heavily political
Very nice, yeah.
and should be shut down ASAP. Flint and Steel. Anton, Flint and Steel.
Now Vernius also does have their
Where are the
passive up.
drones?
I'm producing 19 at the moment.
19.
19. They can produce more. They don't have a craft workshops on Space Cruiser.
Yeah. Also, Harkonnen capturing White Rift, he will have the superior passive hedge production.
Now, maybe Ekas and Vernius want to attack Harkonnen. They both would profit from it. Vernius getting Volcano, Ekas maybe getting Red Rift here.
I don't know if I like Harkonnen grabbing this 5-ring region instead of Sandfall. Can they capture Sandfall? Yes, they can. So it looks like that Harkonnen is opting into a more hedge-heavy game. No, they are pillaging. Why? You will benefit so much from capturing Sandfall. You want Sandfall. And
I
with
mean-
Atreides in the lobby, you don't want to play chances with him capturing or not. He can just
Yeah.
cease fire on this region and then capture it right under your nose. You don't want that.
But I don't think this Atreides necessarily will go for that. I think
If they
Atreides,
delay-
Atreides will be happy sitting in their corner, letting Ekas and Vernius fight with Harkonnen.
Yes, but if they delay Atreides Gov Rincon,
Oh no!
so much so that it's not viable anymore,
Oh no! The poor Saboids.
that they can just capture it.
Vernius was
Saboid army
preparing a
again.
huge Saboid blob to attack Atreides, but half of it just got
Challenge
eaten.
awaits.
Don't be irresponsible. Feed your suboids at home. Feed your worms with suboids.
I don't know if they're tasty.
I don't think the worms care.
That is true. They eat everything. They do like donkeys.
What? No,
Tasty donkey flesh.
not my donkeys. Okay, so Atreides has insider trading as well. Looking interesting right now. Also the Hark Chom, 22%. But how much do they produce? They are right now in the negative, but they have 5k in the bank.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that Harkonnen politicking there. Yeah, he lies, definitely. But as ECAS and Vernius, you also don't want tradies to have I. So yeah, they will vote Harkonnen in
Tradies.
and vote Sail Incentive on Harkonnen. So very nicely done.
Nice. So Atreides dumping their votes
Yeah, maybe
into
a
I. They won't
mistake.
keep that, but I feel like you don't. Once you see the lobby rallying against you on the charter, you can safely assume that they will give it to someone else, and you can
Yeah.
actually vote up speaker right now if you had the votes and they couldn't do anything. But that
Yeah.
is not the case.
Sometimes it's more helpful to save your votes up and just go for the more important charter. Because Eye of the Council does give you 2 agents, and they do produce +2 influence for you. But with your influence numbers, like the influence numbers Atreides has, this hardly matters. Oh, do we have a crash?
Yeah, it does seem like that.
I hope
Right now.
we saved the game there.
It seems like that it's only on Vernius' side. Okay, so what could be the game plan for Atreides here? Oh, yep. Vernius did
Someone pause.
disconnect. Someone should pause right now.
There we
Okay.
have it. Okay.
So the game plan here for Atreides right now, it would be that they gather their house gifts around the main base, and they discover all of them. And once it is time to actually vote on a gov or something important charter like speaker, then once the Landsred vote comes up, you resolve all the BOIs and get a huge boost of, I don't know, 400 or 300
Yeah.
votes. And this only works because they have the insider trading, which basically gives you infinite max influence. So if you are at the capped on max influence and you do this, you can actually get into the voting phase of a land red with even more influence than your max influence
Yeah,
because of the house gifts.
it's very strong.
I would do that and win speaker or gov with the play.
With that amount of influence production, I would say they don't even need speaker. They can just go for the governorship. Because the other players, if you look at the influence production, I don't think they will surpass the Atreides there. And even if they do, you still have a chance of winning it.
Yes, but you have to keep it in mind that if they vote up governor, then Atreides has to vote down both loss of rights and
was this-
governorship.
I don't know if that was it tested out yet, how that works. If you have both the resolution that will lose you all the charters and governorship up, how that combination works.
I think it works that if you get voted gov again, then you just keep the gov. But if loss of rights goes through, then you already had gov from previous Landsreds, so it actually works on gov as well.
It resets
So it resets.
Okay.
So you go back to 30 days.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would imagine that you lose everything. Oh yeah, then you lose it and then get re-elected. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. If that's how it works, that's interesting. Because I've never actually seen it go through.
Me neither. Every time it was gov play, it was well set up that you had no chance.
Yeah.
Either gov gets not prioritized on the next council because something else gets voted up, or somebody already has speaker and just deletes loss of Reds.
You need my help, hey, Uncle?
Okay,
One of the two.
Harkonnen already pillaging some sieges here. Having a nice bank of Solari, 8k basically.
And it's gonna soon jump up to 12k. Or 13k. 13k, I think.
I mean, they can definitely get up to 30% here. Maybe even
12k.
try a Chom win. But we have an engagement between Verniers and Atreides. We have the big suboid blob
Ready, my lord.
trying to attack Imperial Basin here.
Yeah, that's not an army that will win against Atreides, in my opinion.
I mean, Atreides seems hesitant to engage here.
I don't know why.
They're pulling back. Interesting. We see Ika's
I
coming.
feel like
in.
this is an easy engagement for Atreides to win. Maybe they are waiting for the gear.
Maybe.
They
but
have
Ikaz
the
is
gear. They just
attacking
have to
now.
put it up. Ikaz as well. Oh, that's why they were hesitating then.
But now they want to drive off Verniers here. They definitely can. Those suboids are.
Oh, they can
They go
easily do
down.
that.
That is a massacre.
Who can forget
Also, the attack speed upgrade on the Rangers,
skeleton men?
nicely done. That's what you want if you are being swarmed by an army. You want more attack speed, not more power. Nice armory upgrade choice. The problem is you still have 2 armory slots and you haven't equipped them.
We see a
I would
ceasefire
love to
going
see
on.
before. Nice.
And Atreides is collecting 2 Marauder POIs from the map. So another 4 troops for them. They may, yeah, I think they can beat the Ika's army here.
I think so as well. But they need the second gear slot because... What is this Ika's army? Let's see. This is a 65 CP Ika's army
At your
with
command,
Whitmore,
my
with
lady.
2 champs,
Muskets are loaded.
and full gear. And this is an Atreides army not vetted
Honored
with
to
Gurney
serve you.
without the second gear slot.
Yeah. Might be hard for them.
This will be
Operations
an
are going
interesting
down, Epic
engagement.
Crest. And Fog, so
Oh,
Atreides
Fog.
can't control their army. Very
Yeah,
nice.
this will be a massacre.
Yeah,
The knight
this,
with the 800 DPS, look at that cleaving through the Atreides front line.
Serve to the best of our
yeah,
capacity.
this is an Ika's win, I would say. It's very slow. They're both tanky armies, but slowly but surely, Ika's will
We'll obey your wish.
plow through there.
Definitely. Look at that knight
Now
DPS.
the trophies will be collected here.
My Lady Archduchess.
Jesus.
7, 8 on the night, 9 on the night.
You honor us, fair lady.
3 on the Squire, 8 on Whitmore, and 9
That's a
on
lot
the
of
knight.
edge.
And also there's a cheeky little toxic vapors going down from Harkonnen. Thinking that maybe they can kill some of those champs.
I don't think so.
If Ikas pays attention, that they shouldn't.
The
Then
fog,
none of them
the
have to die.
fog lasts like 1 day, so
I mean, Ikas can already control their army, so it shouldn't be a problem to just leave the region.
yeah.
Judge of the Council is up. If I'm Atreides here, I mean, I can grab it.
Yeah,
Pro-
maybe
probably.
just put your base votes in it and hope for the best. I wouldn't put my actual votes into it. I would just wait for the next council. I think they do need a charter though to be eligible.
They do, yes.
Maybe they will just go for speaker then. Just leave judge of the council and go for speaker.
And they
Yeah.
did. They voted up.
They put 360
Foreign
votes
recruitment.
into foreign recruitment, which is fine to rebuild their army.
I think so, yeah.
But you can spend a bit less of your votes there.
Wait, will Ikaz make this Red Cliff, the one that is
Oh.
being captured by a drone, into a garden? That is my question.
That would be exciting.
That would be amazing.
Do they have a garden yet?
I would love to see that. No, they don't.
No, they don't. So making this a garden would actually be very mean to Atreides, because if you attack a garden, you will lose a lot. How much do you lose? 100 authority, 100 land threat?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see that happen. It would basically deny Atreides to advance this. Oh, here comes the Force Truce. Bit late, but it's here.
Yeah, maybe if they do it a bit earlier, they can deny that capture.
Yeah. They did have the influence required. Maybe it was the time difference. Like, they cannot force truce after before 10 days of conflict.
Maybe, yeah.
So it was just it just got off cooldown. My money is on that. Harkonnen greedily expanding into Vernius territory. Look at that spice field capture.
I won't like that as Vernius. I would probably fight there.
Yeah, the airfield just got finished there. Did no, Harkonnen and Vernius did not fight there because they are in truce.
Yeah, Vernius trying to get their army up, but they are lacking fuel cells right now.
They can do it with water, no?
Yeah, but they
But they
only
don't-
have 4
they don't
water right now.
Yeah, they don't have water either.
They don't have energy efficiency yet. They're researching it. Basically, energy efficiency allows you to even fully build your army out, because your army consumes a lot of fuel cells, and this basically reduces by gives you 30% more fuel cells, and -1 requirement. So this will hugely reduce your fuel cell count. This is very important for Vernius.
Vernius and Atreides
Where are the
also
drones?
getting force truce.
Did they? Yeah. But that also
love to see
means Atreides' influence is down in the pits. They don't have any
It already is
charter.
because they are only at +16.
This will delay their governor play, definitely.
Yep.
Which maybe they don't mind, because they do have to build up their main base yet. They have to secure the bunker there.
Harkonnen in the meanwhile trying to run away with with the hedge and
Yeah.
Chom.
But this time Vernius pulled the trigger early and obfuscated the Harkonnen Chome
Oh,
craft workshops.
that hurts a lot.
Yeah, and Harkonnen
Not
does
right.
not have a lot of regions to capture.
No,
Only
they
3.
don't. It hurts a lot, especially because right now Ikaz is actually up there with him on hedge.
Yeah, for sure. But this will also paint a target on ECAS in not a lot of time. Because ECAS will surely surpass Harkonnen sometime with their passive.
That is true, yeah.
But as
find-
Vernius,
My
I
brave
want
at
to
your
attack
service.
Harkonnen here. I think so.
Do
Ready,
you?
my lord.
I want Great Volcano.
I mean, yeah, but also, I don't know. So this is a complex mid game right now. Who to attack, who to not, because they might be useful later. From Vernius' side, the easiest target to pick would be Atreides. Even though this is a bunker, Atreides does not have a wing con right now, so he would also have to stop Ikaz and Harkonnen in the late game.
Yeah.
But if you attack Harkonnen and they lose their army, then Ikaz gets Ikaz can just go around and farm them, which
That
is
is
not
true.
something you want to see. They can't do it against the Atreides because Atreides has a really nice bunker in the south, and it's just unreachable for them.
Yeah, basically.
Shom is not moving a lot, even though I think Harkonnen can easily get 30% if they wanted to.
They definitely would like to. Plus 15% military power.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
They have martial economy as well. They can just start oppressing the spice fields, but he is not doing that as of now. Let's see what the next Landsraad gives us. Overall, I would say this is a pretty calm game right now. Very peaceful.
Yeah. Not a lot of conflict. But conflict will happen eventually.
There's a nice bounty on War of Assassins. To give it to Harkonnen. Wow. Alright. Yeah, Harkonnen is in a tough spot right now because they don't have any passive hedge generation. Their best bet is to just capture one of the regions from Ikaz or Vernius and get access to middle.
Maybe try to assassinate someone at this point.
He doesn't have the tech.
Ah, I see.
He doesn't have spying mastery
Yeah.
or nefarious contacts.
He's far away from that.
Yeah, I don't think he will actually go down that path. He didn't last game.
That is true. But I mean, if you're at a
But
point where your win con seems very far away and you can't hedge properly against other players, assassinations are always like a nice way to get you out of that spot.
That is true, yeah. As an assassination target. Oh wait, there's a fight happening. We will discuss that later. Atreides and Ikaz having a border dispute.
Now, what is
What
Ika's
will
plan
be?
here?
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
they
he's
wanna-
just farming.
Maybe, yeah, or he wants to kill Atreides here.
Would be interesting to see, but stopping just here for that bunker would be also a great idea. They didn't betray, right?
I don't think so. No.
No, they didn't. Okay.
Now Vernier is also moving their troops to the border. Do we see another governor kill here? Is the lobby afraid of their Atreides governor play? Maybe they just want to kill them.
I mean, the lobby still doesn't have a lot of influence production, and it looks like that Atreides voted up voter sellers.
Now Vernier is starting to attack Imperial Basin. Maybe this is an attempt. Maybe they want to just kill the Atreides. I wouldn't disagree. I think that's a good play, and it benefits both Vernius and Ikaz to do this. I don't think Harkonnen would like it, because basically Ikaz and Vernius would just gather up the specials between them.
Harkonnen would definitely not like that, because he would be completely...
I mean, look at the chat.
but he's saying otherwise in the chat. Yeah, I don't I don't know why. Personally, if I'm Harkonnen, I don't like the idea that Atreides dies here. I like the idea that I can get an easy access to their base if I need to kill them. I don't like killing them.
Yeah, for sure. They would be pretty much out of the game if they can't show it.
I mean, they are on 27%, so it looks like that Harkonnen is planning on choming it. And if he's choming, then maybe, yeah, killing Atreides is the play here.
Obey your wish.
But it benefits Ekaz and Vernius so much. Probably more so Vernius than Ekaz, because Vernius can get 2 specials out of this. Now Atreides is flying in.
Ekaz can't really get any specials from this Atreides.
Attacking the Vernius army, but the engineers are invisible thanks to Kater, and Atreides doesn't have a probe set up here. So this Vernius army is healing.
We're listening.
So here comes a force truce against Ekaz.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Nicely done.
Fighting the one player, force choosing the other player. Now, here's a micro issue with Vernius. If you select your army and attack another player, all your units will follow this command. Also your engineers that you posted as repairing, and Kater also will move. So you have to be really good to focus your army.
Doesn't look like to be a problem because Atreides couldn't find the engineers to focus them down,
Yeah,
or did not.
Vernius is
think
doing
about
a
it.
really nice job here. This prolonged fight, I think Vernius will win. Their units are they're getting
definitely.
healed so much. Slowly but
Question is,
surely.
does Atreides have reinforcements coming in?
I don't know.
Maybe
How's
some
their
non-Zed
manpower
guards.
looking? They're in the minus. They're minus Solari, not a lot of manpower. They don't have a big bank.
Yeah,
This
yeah, I would
isn't-
say that's a big of a problem. Are they rebuilding their army? Yes, they are. They are training Gurney, a trooper, a ranger, a heavy weapon squad, and another trooper.
And Ekaz slowly but surely capping the sanctuaries in their back.
Creeping up on that hedge ladder. I don't know.
Another force truce.
Atreides is holding his own, buying time for Hark to basically just chome the game. 26%, something happened. Spice tax hit, so percentages got lowered.
Harkonnen is sitting at the Ekaz border here.
I think he is looking to pillage this renegade base. Yeah, they are just waiting for the scavenger team, which is one day away. Vernius deciding to just not care and betraying the Atreides.
Interesting, okay. Ekaz doesn't have their garden placed yet, I think.
No, they don't.
Maybe they're still looking for like an offensive place. An offense place for the
We
garden
have
placement.
the most inspiring ship in the
Ah.
galaxy.
Tough. Pretty tough. A portfolio would definitely slow down Harkonnen's win con right here. I think what will happen in this vote is that Harkonnen goes all out on denying portfolio, and the other three will just discuss water sellers.
Maybe congratulations on Atreides.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but the Ekaz are pointing it out. Hark is getting quite a lot of chom.
Yeah, but Harkonnen also pointing out that Ekaz is just distracting the lobby because they are leading in hedge and will, and they have
There's definitely
two
a
more
lot
centuries.
of politicking going on here.
Yeah.
Kenry would be proud. The politics.
The rallying against rallying someone else.
I mean, it is a huge part of the game to do so. to see what player is ahead, to try to convince other players to attack them, distract from your own win condition.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see, what was the resolution? Durex on Ikez. House Harkonnen gets water cellars.
Interesting.
And the minor houses vote up portfolio.
Vernier is putting Gearex on ECAS. I wonder why.
They might be looking for an engagement against Ikez soon.
No.
Once they capture Imperial
ECAS
Basin.
is just happy farming the Trades militia here. How many?
I'm bound to you, my lady.
10 trophies on Whitmore,
Yes, my lady.
6 on the Squire.
19 on the Knights.
Honorable knight.
That is a
at your
lot.
service.
This is basically a special region.
Yep. Even more.
True.
Also, the Landsred have never looked more red. I did not expect this.
The evil.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. The House Harkonnen is indirectly one of the best Gov factions because they are really bad at the governorship and everybody just says, yeah, let's give it to Hark. Yeah, let's give the charter to Hark because they can't win on Gov. Yeah, let's give the charter to Gov.
I mean, they are
Everybody-
Gov
Did you do that?
eligible. There
They
is
are
a
Gov
way.
eligible. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
There is a way for them to maybe sneak away a Gov win here. I mean, they don't have any blue tech.
No, they don't. That's what I mean. They never go for Gov play. They never actually try to win on Gov. And the lobby knows, like every player knows that Harkonnen doesn't like Gov. That's why he gets every charter.
I mean, now they're
That's why
going
he's
through
one of the best.
nefarious contracts here. So, let's see their agents. They have 3 agents on Verniers. So, they are looking for an assassination here on House Verniers. That would free up
Interesting.
the Polar Thing. That would free up Space Wreck. So,
There was a truce broken between Harkonnen and Ikez
wow.
as Harkonnen is
Harkonnen
trying to pillage.
Harkonnen
Are they
attacking
capping it?
Acid
Yes.
Lake?
They're capturing acid lakes.
That is a interesting capture here.
Bold. I would say bold because fighting on acid lakes before your opponent arrives basically means
Whitmore
that you
is
start
killed.
with less HP, but
Can they kill
still
the champions here?
2 of the champions are
Yeah.
down and here comes
The
the last
knight
one
is
as well.
down.
Oh no. Only Squire is up.
The Musketeers are
That is
focusing the Overlord here. The
Nicely
Overlord
done.
is going down.
Nice targeting by the Harkonnen player.
Yeah.
That decimation protocols in the beginning really hurt the EKS player's backline.
Now, they do
Oh,
have
it's
faster recruiting now, right?
Yes, but EKS's recruitment now basically equals any other factions with the extra training
I
slots.
see. But it will still be enough to
Overall.
kill those gunners, because they are still in acid lakes. So this
Yeah.
capture is not going through. But it is a hard-earned victory from ECAS, because they lost all their champions. And now they're behind Verniers and Hedge.
Yeah, I would say this is not actually a win for EKS. Overall, they lost much more.
Yeah, but it also, the target is now not on them anymore. And they still can spike with their champions and their sanctuaries in the back. So maybe it's not
Yeah.
that bad for them.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. I still believe this is more of a loss for the ECAS player than it is a win.
That is true.
Trade is in the meanwhile just getting that influence up. You don't pay attention to them for 2 seconds and they already run away with the Gov.
Yeah, it's still a threat, but they lost a lot of influence, force-trucing people and spending on other resolutions. They never built up like a huge influence stock.
I mean, it was basically just delaying them.
Yeah. I mean, right now they could try to get Speaker of the Council. Vernius doesn't have any votes because they're betrayed. ECAS doesn't have any
Vernius doesn't have any
influence.
Solari either. Look at that. Minus
no.
1.4k Solari. That it hurts a lot.
Yeah, because
The-
Harkonnen took the spice field up in the north.
yeah.
They have one,
So how much do they
two.
have? They have 2.
2 harvesters.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, one is Worm's Nest, which is fine, but still. Yeah. Hopefully they're doing. I think they're doing the right thing. They want to attack Harkonnen and take the spice field off of them.
But they have to. Everything is just crumbling in their empire.
They basically have to do that. As soon as you see Harkonnen taking away that spice field here, that is just egregious. They're not allowed to do that.
But they are in truce right now. Maybe not for long, but if I'm the Vernius here, I would definitely get an economy treaty up with either ECAS or Atreides.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now they are positive
Here's the
in
garden.
Solari, but still.
Yeah, and here's the garden,
Oh,
right at the doorstep of Atreides.
This is great. So basically, Atreides can't attack this. They're leaving
Nope,
the
they
village
cannot.
just empty at the border because they don't want ECAS to farm the militia.
Yeah.
Nice placement.
Okay. Well, Harkonnen right now has 24k in the bank, and they are allowed to buy Throne once again.
Maybe it's a charm victory. Maybe they can pull it off. I mean, Vernius can't contest them. Atreides. They
ECAS
don't
is a
have
bit
a
of a
bank.
bank, but the question is, will that be enough?
I have
And
no
the answer
idea.
is probably not.
If they try to chome here,
Oh.
it would benefit ECAS a lot. Because if
Controlled markets goes on ECAS to the courtesy of Atreides,
no.
but why?
Why? As Atreides, I want to put it on Harkonnen.
Yeah, I think so as well. I don't understand this. I don't understand this decision.
Now, ECAS got forced truce by Atreides.
Once again,
Surveys are on Atreides. And everyone put their votes in, so maybe they still want to kill that base.
and that does seem to be the play right now. But nobody has siege incentives. Literally nobody.
How is Harkonnen still in the hedge game here? This is crazy.
Spy stacks,
Yeah.
and that's it. That nothing else, just spy stacks.
The pack is ready.
I mean, they don't have any passive and they're still on top.
Can we check how much they generated from that hedge?
Yeah. Is there a way to see? No.
I know you can see it if you are a player and you check it yourself.
I see.
Oh,
Now we have the Harkonnen posting.
wow.
40% still buying. They
That
have
was
5k.
quick.
Now the lobby
that
has
was
to
quick.
react.
Look at that income, 1.1k.
Yeah, the lobby has to pivot now. They have to go now.
That is insane. Insanity.
Quickly. Don't worry, Aistal. Don't trust the
worry, Aistal.
Harkonnen. No. You have to attack
If I'm the
them now.
Harkonnen, I never sell.
You
Don't
you
sell
have you
anything.
basically have to kill the Harkonnen base now. Basically needs to happen.
He left the trigger on. He didn't stop it at 30% or 39%, and he is actually
I don't know
selling.
if I want to believe that. They still
He
can
did,
build
he
out
did,
the
yeah.
bank. They have 15k. I don't trust that.
Yeah, but he's 50k because he sold.
Still at 38%, 37. Okay, that he's selling more.
No, why? Don't sell, please.
Oh, but
You're
Ikas is
losing so
attacking
much
Harkonnen
money.
now.
Okay. Well,
Harkonnen will fly their army over.
is this the victory lap from Harkonnen? Just flying, witnessing Arrakis in his full beauty from a top-down view. Oh, it's
Okay.
because Ikas attacked them. Wow.
Yeah.
Such a betrayal.
Someone to eliminate.
Well, even though they agreed that he will sell and still. And you're telling me that Harkonnen are the liars?
I don't trust that. 40k in the bank. How much they have? 34%. That is still a chum victory.
Yeah, but they only got 34% because they are still selling for some reason. You gotta buy it up now.
34.
Well, you gotta buy it up until 39% and then pull the trigger.
Yeah. I mean, as the lobby, I still want to attack Harkonnen here.
It's a tough decision right now because Speaker is not voted up, but it's at 48, which means
Yeah.
that just one more bump and it will be voted up as the next council. They can
But
still deny it.
It's not in time
I think-
though. You have to vote up governor as the tradies to win something, but they can't because they don't have a charter, so they're not gov eligible.
It is true, yeah.
So they do need Speaker of the Council here.
Harkonnen has an assassination prepped against Vernius. They can launch it anytime. They just have to sacrifice an agent and put it. Get it through.
This will be interesting. Does have
Ikas still farming
Vernius-
hedge.
Vernius does have 2 on counter intel, which is very nice. So they are a bit of prepared, but they don't have any stealth detection. And their lands are very ravaged by the big Solari depth they had. Now Ika is still nicely farming hedge here on the Atreides village. With every building they destroy, they get a trophy for each champ.
Our swords are light.
So
but they
basically
cut all the
300
same.
author hedge.
No, they only get 100 because that was
I see.
that was
There was a change.
much. That was a change, yes, because
I
it was
see.
too strong that
Yeah.
they get 300 from every militia. Right now, it just gets randomly given to one of the champs that touched that building or unit.
Now they're equal to the Harkonnen hedge, and they have passive, so they will be ahead. But it still relies on their champs to survive a battle.
Spice Tax hits in 6 days, and Ikas has one more sanctuary to spike with, and another region down here. in
Harkonnen's
this south.
slightly buying up again on their chome. They're not selling anymore. They can still win.
They can easily win, yes. How much do they have? They have 30k in the bank. They can easily buy up the chome they want. But if I'm the Harkonnen, right now I would want Ikas to die, not Atreides.
That is true. Now
Speaker did get
Atreides,
voted up.
yeah, Atreides did the sneaky thing of voting up the charter, just like 2 days before the land threat will open, which allows you to sneakily put it over the edge without other players noticing it.
Yep.
If you
And
do
yet
it,
again,
oh,
I feel like we will
pause.
witness why Harkonnen is the best governorship faction in the game, because Atreides is too strong. We can't give it to him. Okay, let's give it to Hark. He gets speaker. Gov gets voted up.
He gets money, right? From the
He
charter?
does, yeah. He gets,
Oh, no.
he gets 2k salary. I mean, it's 2 days work worth of work, so it's not that much, you know. But it is still something. Also, another renegade base will drop on the southeast neutral region.
And
Just
they
for
still
Harkonnen
have a
to
they
pillage.
still have a siege up for pillaging.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
What they do? Oh, it's a militia siege, so it strengthens the militia of the villages. I think they want to keep that. They might want to keep that.
I see. Yeah. Are they
My question
allied
is, are
with
they-
it? No, they're not allied, but they're trading. They could be allied.
Yeah. My question is, why is he not oppressing the villages that the spice fields are located in?
True. If
He's losing a lot of production on that.
he could definitely produce more.
Yeah.
Maybe
And if you are a
doesn't want to.
Harkonnen, you always keep it on greed mode and you permanently oppress a spice field, and you can actually get, I think, like 2,500 salary production just from 2 spice fields. Easily.
Yeah.
Now imagine 4.
They want to give the governorship to the speaker to Hark. I
I'm
don't know
telling
if
you.
I would like that. I would.
There's nobody else. You
that
can't
would,
choose.
Yeah, but that would allow Harkonnen to obstruct certain things, like Chom. The Chom. How is it called?
Yeah, but
Not charters,
Chom-
resolutions. The Chom
Dilution.
resolutions. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's the name. Not sure. But would you risk giving Atreides the gov?
At this point, I think so, because it takes so long. It takes 2 land threats for Atreides to win on governorship. And when does the spice tax hit? In 3 days, it would take like 2 spice tax for anyone to win this game.
Yeah. And right now Hark is at 37% yet again. And once the spice tax hits, I think he will pull the trigger and try to win on Chom.
Yeah.
And he can definitely do it.
He just has to hit the slider. Maybe.
Yep. And if I'm Hark, I would start pillaging that siege right now.
Yeah. And there are 100 shares available, so a lot to buy. I don't know if it's enough for them to win.
It's not yet. It's a lot, but it's not yet enough.
Yeah, and the other factions have to start buying. Maybe ECAS can spike.
Here comes the fog.
This is a winning battle for ECAS, I would say.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Question is,
hidden backdoors goes
Will-
down on the Atreides flagship, and Vernius is coming up. They want to kill Atreides here.
they do, don't they?
This is nice for ECAS. Look at the
Yeah.
hedge. Just
I feel like they
goes
are
up.
forgetting the Harkonnen Chom.
Maybe Harkonnen is happy in their corner.
Harkonnen is pillaging that siege.
Yeah.
We
When
love to see it.
now going to the
No, he's
renegade
not.
base.
He's
They
not.
have to leave a troop there. No. Leave a troop there.
Oh no.
Oh no. They forgot.
They did.
Or
Did they
maybe,
realize the mistake, or are
maybe they
just,
want to use Scav team to just farm it. Maybe
possibly?
that's the
But I
play.
think you get much more from that.
Now, ECAS just jumped up in hedge.
Yes,
Their
my lady
champions
of
have
Belgium.
a lot of trophies
If
again.
if I'm ECAS here, I betray Vernius.
Yeah? I don't know if I can
I
beat
do.
the army.
Oh, you can definitely. You have a village here with turret right now. I think you can
That is
easily
true,
win this
yeah.
fight. And here it comes.
There it comes. Now, can they?
Vernius has to
Can they?
teleport
They
out.
see? Yeah, they see the fight engineers and focus them down.
They have to teleport out. You cannot give any more hedge to ECAS. But they are trying to snipe a champion.
Yeah, they're trying to snipe the
Can they
squire.
do it? A worm comes. You have to teleport out. No, don't lose it there.
One champion will go down.
One of them goes down. You have to kill Whitmore though, and he's all the way in the back.
Whitmore, run!
Serve you, my lady.
Will Whitmore survive? Run!
He will survive.
Oh my god. Yes.
28 with 28 HP.
Now, if I'm Harkonnen, I want a toxic vapor here.
Lady.
Yes, if he gets intel on where Whitmore is, he can just put a toxic vapor there, and
Next
I
spice
think
tags,
Whitmore just
18
dies
days.
instantly.
18 days for the next spice tax to hit for ECAS here. There's toxic vapors, but not on Whitmore.
In the wrong region. Ouch.
Very nicely played by ECAS. Did they betray? Yeah, they did. They betrayed House Vernius.
Harkonnen has to pull the trigger
Yeah,
right now, right here.
definitely.
Otherwise, they might just lose.
He's buying.
There
yeah.
it is. There it is.
Now,
They have 50k in the bank.
as ECAS, where
Only
do I
thing that
farm
can
hedge?
make
Can ECAS farm hedge?
possibly.
ECAS needs to attack
I mean,
the
look at
troops
that.
here.
Look at those railgun drones. I don't. If ECAS just tries to move out, one of
Yeah,
their champs
ECAS
will
has to
just
attack
fall
here.
over.
Harkonnen
There is
still
no
buying.
truce between the Atreides and the Vernius. That is a problem. They need to strike a truce.
46. Now the shares are
47.
getting thin.
Don't get farmed right now.
Yeah, ECAS is attacking Vernius right now. Trying to
They need
get
to
ahead.
teleport out. They need to teleport out.
Ah,
There is
ECAS
no
is
other
going
way
back.
around it.
49.
49,
They have it right. Yeah.
50. They need one more buy.
One more buy. Spice is in 13 days.
And
There we have it.
GG's. Shown victory on Harkonnen.
Wow. Very close game.
Wow.
ECAS almost spiked there. 29.
Yes, but they
needed
lost
1K.
the squire.
Yeah, true.
That basically was the game. They lost the squire. GG's.
I'm not sure why they allowed Harkonnen to survive. Maybe if they kill Harkonnen. But well played to
That
all
is
the players
tough.
here. We have a
Yeah.
beginner tourney winner, the finalist, who took it all. Casterex on Harkonnen.
Well played by Casterex.
Very well played.
Interesting to see someone who played a game, was very close to winning, server crash. They have to replay the game. They replay the game. Casterex didn't manage to hit to win first or second, but they managed to get a third. And then the player who actually advanced from that pod couldn't make it, so Castor made it, and he won it all.
Wow.
What a game. Interesting. Why has Vernius attacked Atreides in the end? I think they were afraid of Gov. I see no other way for that, you know. But if I'm Verdin Sphere, I definitely want to attack this spice field. This is just too much in my territory. Snipe the airfield, take this off Harkonnen and slow their chomp down. And that is the beginner Tourney.
Wow.
Man. GG's indeed. Let's recap a bit. Because this tournament was kind of an experiment to us all. We tried the first, second, this kind of variation of the game. What if there were second and first and third and fourth placement? We got mixed reviews. Some players were frustrated because it changes the end of the game, how it has to be played. And they thought that it was unfair or wasn't as exciting as just fighting someone who was actually winning, or actually having end games like this where two players can win as first, and they are both rushing their own win cons before the other one can win. So I personally, after witnessing everything, don't really like it anymore. Like, I had a great... I thought that it would work out well. I thought it would be interesting to see, and it was interesting to see. But after all the experiences from these games, I can surely say that I don't enjoy this type of play or strategy at all. So, me personally, I don't think I will ever organize something like this again. Minx, what do you think?
I mean, it's nice to have the option. To have like an 8-player tournament happening, because we had like rough periods with this game where we couldn't find 16 players to play a tourney. Like, it wasn't possible. There were no shows. Like, even the last circuit tournament, it was very close of getting 16 players together. So I think it's definitely nice to have the option to have a rule set for 8-player tournaments. It definitely opens up a lot of strategies, like more strategies to the game, and I think that's nice. But I get the players not liking it. Like I get the arguments. I think we had 2 games where we saw like the mechanics behind it, like players aiming for a second place win.
Yeah, where they realized that the first place is not possible anymore, or would require more effort than actually winning second.
Yeah. And how many games did we play? We had 2, 4, 6, 7. So 2 out of 7 games we saw this mechanic happening.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in a bad way. Like, a lot of players were like concerned about it. Oh no, what will happen if a Corino player and a Fremen player will decide, oh, we would just kill the other 2 players and win the game?
Yep.
That could happen. But in this tourney, like, it was a beginner tourney. I don't think that anyone would come up with that.
It's not even that they would come up with that. I think it would not, like, the stakes here were just our passion and enjoyment for the game.
That is
We
true,
played
yeah.
for fun. I think the players chose not to play that way because they didn't think that it would be fun. Yeah, I definitely think that it's all comes down to just fun, and they did not think that teaming up in the mid game against the other two would be as fun, or Dune Spice Wars. But just as a comparison between this game and the previous one, this had a much more energetic ending, and we saw. Let me rephrase it. So this ending was much more energetic and more macro oriented. Like all the players were involved in some way at the end. Harkonnen was rushing to their own Wincon, Ikaz was rushing to their own Wincon, and Atreides and Vernius were basically trying to slow down either one of them. So in a second placement version of this, Ikaz would be 2v1'd by Atreides and Vernius much earlier, in my opinion. If that were the case, that someone can get second placement. Yeah, I just think that having the option for someone to be second kind of makes you rethink the strategies that you can actually use in the game much more, and not in a good way, in my opinion. That's basically all I have to say about it. Any other comments you have about this format, Minx?
I liked the time we had between the matches. I think that was very nice. It just the players could choose their own dates for the matches, which just helped a lot.
Yeah.
So did we have a no-show in this tourney at all?
No.
Yeah, so that's just amazing.
We had one time where we had to reschedule the game, and we were on a tight schedule by that point, and we needed someone to replace, I think, Course.
Yeah.
With Quambomb, and then Quambomb had to be replaced as well because they couldn't make it to the second round.
That's like,
yeah.
I think that's a huge improvement because having 16 players get together on one day to play 4 matches and then the next match afterwards. And I mean, we almost always had no-shows and players not showing up and stuff, and we had to find replacements, and there were not enough players because they couldn't be there on that day because it's just one day, and if you don't have the time, you don't have the time, and this just opens up the tourney more, so more players can participate, and I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a possibility to do that without second place winnings.
I don't know either. There might be a way, but I don't know.
That's
Also,
definitely a huge improvement, I would say.
Yeah. I also agree with you that it is a nice option that we can actually host 8-player tournaments like this with this system. Because the content route of the game doesn't help the player base at all, and we are just... I mean, we've seen more and more new players, which I'm actually surprised that we do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I'm glad we see more new players, and that's one of the reasons why I actually made this beginner tourney, because we saw just a huge wave of new players appearing out of nowhere, and we decided why not host just a friendly tournament to have fun with and maybe teach them a bit about the game, because the game itself doesn't do that well in teaching you the mechanics. So why not ask one of the best players who has 2,000 hours in the game?
Yeah,
And
that,
I feel
that
like
was very nice.
it worked out pretty well. Yeah.
And having like the coaching sessions, and that just adds to the community, I would say. Like people on the voice chat helping each other, people asking questions in the general chat or Tourney talk. I think that's just really, really great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would like to thank every participant of the tournament. Thank you for participating and playing and actually devoting your time to show up and play these games. Thank you. I want to thank all the broadcasters, Davok, Whaler, Minx, and all the coaches for helping us organize and spread awareness to this tournament. And thank you to the Dune Circuit server for giving place to organize this tournament on. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, and thank you for watching. We will see if we organize something in the future. I think there's a tourney sometime coming up the next month, but not from us. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know when the next one is, but I'm sure I will be there.
Same.
You, Minx? Same.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
See you guys later.